Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing tonight? I hope you're all doing good. Hope you're all keeping warm out there. Hope you're all having a great weekend so far. Everything's great. Hi. How y'all doing tonight? Everyone good? We all good? All good. I may have made a funny, and by funny I mean I may have forgotten to turn the heaters on in the garage for a good portion of the day. So remember, if you're cold, they're cold. Printers don't like being cold. So bring your printers in. Or, like we're gonna do on today's stream, enclose them. Because when you enclose your printers, it's like you wearing a parka. It keeps them nice and warm. Okay, that's enough. It's actually not that. It's actually not that cold. Actually, it is 11.5 degrees Celsius out here. It has warmed up a little bit. Okay, let me get this off so you guys can actually hear me. Ooh, there we go. Okay, that's better. It's a bit better. There we go. The schmog off. You can go over there. Nope, shoot. Nope, that landed behind the thing. Nope, we're good, we're good, we're good. Cool. Okay, there we go. There we go. That's probably a little bit better. It's not too bad in here. I accidentally left the heater on low. Normally I turn it up before I go live. So it's only 11.4 degrees Celsius in here right now. Which for you Amerikanskis is 52 Fahrenheit in whatever metric that is, which isn't metric. So how's everyone doing today? How is everyone doing today? It's Tuesday. It's not Tuesday. Why'd I say that? It's Sunday, Saturday. It's Sunday for some of you. For the Europeans, it's Sunday. For the Aussies, it's Monday? I don't know. So there we go. There we go. So what are we doing tonight? What are we doing tonight? A little bit of a grab bag of things to do. I know in the title it says we're enclosing the VZBot, which we will be getting to at one point. But for those that don't know, I'm currently in the process of like getting everything kind of like finalized in its final position. So if you can see on the shelf, we have this big spot here, which would be great for this guy. So Tallboy's already moved up there. So Tallboy, obviously that's not permanent. I gotta pull it out to finish it. It's not enclosed. We're working on Tallboy, but we're gonna enclose this as scuffed as possible, and then it's gonna go on the shelf. And then we'll get the VZBot out and we'll start getting that good. Was that tarp there before? No, I put that tarp there because it's not even a tarp. It's leftover basement subflooring that you do when you tile. It's that like Tyvek, or not Tyvek, but it's that orange stuff, which that's orange. So it shows you how out the colors are on this camera. But anyways, I put that up there along with some random foam that I found to just kind of keep, because what was happening on the other side of this wall, which isn't a wall, is my storage area of the garage. So this area gets all nice and warm because I got a little heater here that's pumping out hot air. So what was happening was the hot air was coming up and going over and then down, and it was getting cold. So I basically, I channeled my inner Chilean football player that plane crashed in the Andes in the 70s. We're not quite at eating the pilots yet, but I've stuffed a bunch of stuff up there to try and make a wall of sorts to try and keep the heat on this side. And you know what? It works. It's got about, I get about 2 or 3 degrees Celsius more. I'll take it. I'll take it. Redneck wall construction. Yeah, we're gonna build that wall, and you guys are gonna pay for it. Schluter. Yeah, it's not Schluter. We have a roll of it left over from the previous owner. It's like the knockoff Schluter stuff, or shooter, or whatever it's called. But what you can do right now is you can win filament. Do you want to win filament? I know you do. Every stream we give away a spool of filament from Polymaker. This is a stream, so we're going to give away a spool of filament from Polymaker. Link in the description. Enter for your chance to win. Do this now. So we got to enclose this printer. So first, let me power it off. So this is my P1P The reason it's going on the shelf is because I don't have the K1C yet. So this is going on the shelf until the K1C from Creality shows up. So because I print ABS, a real plastic, I need to enclose this. So I've got tape and I've got shiny bubble wrap. And I have scissors somewhere. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna get this enclosed as sketchily as possible, as quickly as possible. And then we're going to throw it up on the shelf. And then I'm gonna move on with my life and go work on the VZBot. Does that sound good? That sounds good. Although, I gotta swap out the SD card because this SD card is getting annoying. There we go. Ghetto enclosure. It's not ghetto. It's just, you know, refined. We're refining the enclosure. I keep wanting to grab it like this, but there's no support here, so I gotta be careful when I do that. Also, I moved the VZ or the rat rig downstairs. So I've got a rat rig V-Core 3 200 that was on the shelf there, which it's funny because this Voron takes up as much room as it and has almost double the volume. But it is the heaviest printer I own. That 200mm cube rat rig is the heaviest printer I own. I swear, I had to bring it downstairs. I almost like died because I tripped on something on the stairs. And you know how when you go down the stairs and you like slip over the edge and you're like, and you do that? I did that while holding the rat rig like 5 minutes before I went live today. And like, I swear my life flashed in front of me. And I wasn't that impressed. I could do the companion cube enclosure as an upgrade. How would that be an enclosure? I'm not gonna waste a ton of filament. I don't get those, no offense, I don't get those enclosures. The enclosures that make your printer look like it. You waste a ton of filament and you make the printer be bigger than it needs to. And what do you get? You know, if you're a content creator, you get internet points for making a shitty TikTok out of it. But like, I really don't care how my printers look. Like, as long as they do their job and they're compact. There's a reason I like Vorons. Vorons are very compact for their print volume. I don't want to make the printer that's already bigger and waste a ton of filament for it to go, oh look, it's a companion cube. The cake is a lie. Hi guys, it's 2007 again. I'm gonna post this video on Newgrounds. I hope you get what I mean. Yeah. What I was actually tempted to do, I looked into it. There are a few kits out there to actually enclose these properly that I was looking into. And I was originally gonna go that route until I didn't. So. Scissors? Scissors. The cake isn't a lie. It isn't a lie. In fact, I made a cake yesterday. Actually, that's a lie. Or is it? That's for you to decide. So if you're wondering what this stuff is, it's called Reflectex. It's basically the Alex Jones of bubble wrap. Because it is bubble wrap, but it's all covered in aluminum. So it's really good for, you know, reflecting heat. You use this in like ceilings. I have it on the garage door. I've got Toasty is all enclosed with it to insulate it. It's only got like an R value of like 1, but it's the shiny, so it reflects radiant heat a little bit better. So for keeping a printer enclosed, this is probably one of your, or heated, this is probably one of your better options actually. Also, it's very lightweight and you can easily, you know, shape it. So you're gonna go there and you're gonna cover up this whole back area. But unfortunately, I can't really cover this because I gotta mount this. Where are you? I gotta mount this guy first. You're gonna go there. I need some screws. I don't have my thing on me. Will these work? That's way too long. What am I stepping? Oh, what am I stepping on? Oh, you're just garbage. Am I gonna do the Millennium Mill kit? I will, once it shows up. I don't have the kit yet, obviously. But when it shows up, we will be building one. So if that is something you're interested in, be sure to stay tuned. So make sure if you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. This is one of the reasons we're doing a bunch of housekeeping on streams lately is I've got to get this room kind of set up to take that. Because I'll be honest, I don't really have the room for it. We're gonna make it work. It's probably gonna end up living right here. So I'm gonna have to like get a bigger, sturdier bench back here. So the Millennium Mill is gonna live like on this bench with the VZBot. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, that screw wasn't doing anything. We're making room for the Phoenix. Well, the Phoenix is still a long ways out, I'll be honest. Do I keep grabbing the same screw over and over? I do. I'm dumb. There we go. I like lamp. I like lamp. I like turtles. 3D print another room. Well, I've already done that. This is room number 2. Technically, this is room number 3. We're up to room number 3 right now. I probably shouldn't have this lying right next to the heater. But yeah, we're in room number 3 right now, for those wondering. Anyone else pointing out your chat overlay is froze since last stream? Is it? Okay, everyone say something in chat and see if that updates. It shouldn't be. It's Streamlabs, and not like the knockoff stream, or it's Stream Elements. Sorry. Something. So now we wait for the overlay to update. While we do that, I'm going to complain about aluminum tape because this stuff is the most annoying thing in the world. Yeah, I think the overlay's broken. Oh, no, it's updating. It's just, you know. So everyone who's watching on a TV is going to be having fun for the next little bit. There we go. Update overlay has worked. Project Milk you guys for engagement at the start of stream by pausing the overlay on purpose was a success. Thank you for your engagement. You have your contributions to YouTube's algorithmic metrics are appreciated. Thank you. Would not be able to do it without you. Okay. Use a razor blade to part the tape. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of different ways you can go about it. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut you out, but for the meantime. Also, this will help with the lighting because it'll be shinier in here, right? Right. There we go. No beach pics. Could you not do the insulation from the inside? You could. And then I was tempted to. The problem is the way these panels attach, there's really no lip to like get it underneath. So I'm gonna have to do it from the outside. It's gonna look super scuffed. I really don't care. because who looks at the side of their printers? Because I'm gonna have a printer on one side and a printer on the other. So you're not actually gonna see the sides of this printer. So I'm not too concerned about it. Good evening, folks. Good evening, Zombie. How you doing, buddy? Not have purge in the back? It does. I got the poop chute. It's right here. Poop chute's right there. We're not going to be blocking up the poop chute. What VZBot is this? This is the VZBot, the one that leaks your credit card on Temu. You know how many emails I've gotten so far this year? So for those that don't know how YouTube works, January is the worst month for YouTubers, okay? So YouTubers, if you're a YouTuber, you know January is the worst month, which is also why like all the YouTubers who quit in January, because it's the least productive month in terms of revenue. In terms of ad revenue, it drops like a rock as soon as January hit for things like AdSense, because companies blow their marketing budget in December, which is also why you see a lot of YouTube channels do a ton of content in December, November and December. It's because they do, you can get a ton of ad revenue. Like companies, people are blowing the end of the year marketing budget. So it's very common to see YouTubers do like big series in December, or put out a lot of content in December, just because you get such a good return on the ROI is insane. Versus right now, where I'm making like a third off ad revenue. It's ridiculous how much it drops down in January. But anyways, so if you see a lot of YouTubers doing Temu ad reads right now, it's because I've gotten probably 3 or 4 emails from Temu so far this year. They're shotgunning everyone with ads as far as I could tell. And not many other people are doing ads right now. So it's kind of like, if you want to eat, Temu. Now, luckily for you guys, I will never take a Temu ad, because that stuff is straight up predatory. As YouTubers mean their obligation to X amount of ads before the year. It doesn't work that way. I've never been under any sort of contract for, like, I have to do, because usually it's a one-off. Very rarely do you have a YouTuber that's like regularly sponsored by something where the content's consistent, or like the ad reads are the same. Like, you know, I can see, you know, the closest to me would be LDO. LDO sponsors a bunch of my stuff, but I'm under no like contractual thing to have X amount of ads for, you know, Jason per month. What is Temu? A really shitty AliExpress. It's like Wish, but even worse. But they did a big marketing push and a lot of people are using it, but it's like really bad for like data harvesting and like scraping all your details. So don't use it ever, please don't. Pretty much everyone who's a YouTuber or anyone who does anything on security has talked it down. Like, don't install the Temu app. It pretty much scrapes everything off of your phone. Like GearBest. Is GearBest still around? I remember GearBest being the thing when I first got into 3D printing. Angus did a lot of GearBest videos. I remember that. I don't know if that's still a thing though. Trying to remember who else. Not GearBest. There's another one. Banggood. I've used Banggood. Actually, I have a Banggood affiliate link. I think I made 20 bucks off of it last year. There we go. That's good. Do the belts rub? Nope, we're good. So that's that one. So now we got to do the sides. Sides will be easy. Right about there. GearBest went bankrupt. Oh, Banggood used to be a better option than. Yeah, I remember like Banggood I used a bunch back in the day, and now I pretty much don't. Even AliExpress I don't use as much as I used to. Like AliExpress used to be the shit. I got so much stuff off AliExpress back in the day, and now I don't use it at all anymore. Like I rarely use it. Yeah, or the AliExpress knockoff Lego sets. I mean, if you're gonna buy knockoff. Here's the thing, at least with AliExpress, you have the advantage of buying stuff that you would buy at like Crappy Tire or Princess Auto or the Harbor Freight for you Americans. You could buy it cheaper. Just buy it direct. There we go. Now the question is, do I leave these full size or do I shorten them? I'm going to shorten them because I'm going to need full size for the top there. Getting the top enclosed is going to be fun. The name of the vendor that sells various PC boards. What do you mean adapters? Like what kind of adapters? Right about there. You know what's the most disappointing part of this is? They're not making the popping noise. They don't even make the popping noise. That's the most annoying part of this. PF Dennis gifted 5 community memberships. Cheers and appreciated. I screwed up. Oh well. Why do I have a spool of filament here? There we go. Peel that back. Opinion on VZBot versus Trident. Depends on what you need your printer to do, to be honest. It's not a yes or no question. Which one do I prefer? It depends on what you need your printer to do. Depends a lot on what you need your printer to do. Personally, it depends how big your printer is going to be. If you're building 300 and under, I would say a Trident. Over 300, I would say a VZBot. Also, do you care about going dummy fast? The VZBots seem more niche. I like my VZBot. I've done printing with it. It prints just fine. It is definitely rougher around the edges than a Voron, I will say. It is definitely a lot more rough around the edges than a Voron. It is definitely, I would say you probably need a bit more knowledge before undertaking a VZBot build than a Voron build. There is a lot more to it. There's a lot more involved in it. The manual isn't as fleshed out. Support options are going to be a little bit more limited. Not saying they're bad. I'm just saying it is a smaller design group. It is a smaller community based around it. So good thing I greased up that lead screw. VZBot, don't have to worry about ABS parts breaking or cracking over time. Really? I can't remember the last time I broke an ABS part on my Voron. Like, I'm not trying to sound like pedantic. I literally can't remember the last time I've had a part fail on a functioning Voron that I have. But the last time I had a part fail was on a V2.2. It was AB motor mounts. And they still work, they were just cracked. Like, I didn't even know they were cracked until I disassembled it to upgrade it to a 2.4. So, print your parts hotter with less fan. Yeah, if the ABS parts are cracking during normal use, odds are the parts weren't printed that great to begin with. Again, I hope I'm not sounding pedantic. I'm just, you know, based on, you know, what we see in the Voron community, usually if your parts are cracking under normal use, under normal operation, odds are it's a problem with the printed parts themselves. But the front fell off. Yeah, the front fell off when we tried to took a printer that wasn't designed to print Ultim and we tried to make it print Ultim. The thing is, people seem to get in their mind that a Voron is a printer that it's not what it is. Or how do I word this? People seem to think Vorons are like speed deeming, pushing the absolute limits of, like, you know, your printer should be rattling itself apart. No, they're not. They're good printers, but they're not meant to be, you know, speed machines. They're just good printers. There we go. .48 volt may say different. Which Voron stock has 48 volts in it? I'm comparing stock Vorons. The moment y'all start, you know, making them all-wheel drive with 48 volts and putting 150 millimeter cube hot ends in it, you're the RB Dragons. You can't complain if a Voron fails under non-standard conditions. That's like somebody who buys a Honda Civic and, you know, watches way too much Fast and the Furious, goes nuts putting NOS in it and turbos, and then it breaks and they bring it into the Honda dealership and say, your car broke. Why did you build a shitty car? If you build it outside of the normal design parameters and then it fails, you can't blame the designers. It is starting to warm up. At the start of stream, it was 11.2. Now it's 11.8. How am I going to enclose the top? I got to build a hat. That's going to be fun. Figuring out the door is going to be fun. Nope, nope, nope. Nope, nope. There we go. Print a hat and a door frame. I might. I don't know what. I don't think we're gonna fiddle with the door today. I think we're just gonna get the sides done and then put it up on the shelf. Because I know you guys want me to get to the VZBot, and I want to get to the VZBot. So I think we're just gonna do the sides and throw it up on the shelf, and I'll do the rest tomorrow. I was thinking about getting a P1P. Should I not get it? Personally, get the P1S. The P1E is a dead end. The P1E, I think they're just selling off stock that they have in the warehouse. Personally, I would get a P1S. I see no point buying the P1P because the moment you buy a P1P and go, shit, I got to print something in ABS, you're going to spend you should have got the P1S to begin with. Like, why not buy a glass door and top hatch from Bamboo? Well, what's the price difference between the P1S and the P1P? Because the P1S also comes with all the, like, it comes with the fan that I personally think is a waste, but whatever. It comes with the fan, it comes with pretty much all the optional add-ons that you would want. But I think the actual under the hood, it's the same printer. It's the same printer under the hood. It's $199 for the upgrade kit. Yeah, so just get a P1S. The P1S is only like $100, $150 more than a P1P, isn't it? Like, isn't the price difference between a P1S and a P1P really not that much? If you need to enclose a P1S, yeah, if you know for sure you're never going to be printing ABS or ASA, probably get the A1 instead. Like, it really depends. It depends. You need the, are you going to be doing multicolor? Or like it's, do you have a cat? If you have a cat, you probably want an enclosed printer. Like, there we go. How am I going to enclose the top? I could just literally take this, because we got this, right? I don't have the tube, although I think I could put the tube in. Yeah, I have the cutout here for the tube. I could put the tube in, the Bowden in. But what I'm going to do instead, I think, is literally just do that. Like, literally just do that. But let's get to the VZBot. That's enough for this. Let's get the VZBot going. So is the back of the tube things. Why buy something when I could print it? Why buy it when I could print it? All it is a Bowden inlet. Fun fact, I've been using the exact same V2.0 Bowden inlet on V226 for 5 years and it's worked just fine. And it's just a little printed piece of plastic. P1S is $8.99 Canadian, P1P is $7.69 Canadian both without AMS. Oh, in that case, oh geez. Yeah, that's even closer than I thought. Yeah, if it's that close, just go right to the P1S. Go right to the P1S. There's no point to buy a P1P in that price difference. Unless you are kitting out like a print farm where you know for sure you are only printing like PLA and you want a Core XY machine that has the features Bamboo has and you really don't care about enclosing and you need to buy a bunch of them. So saving a couple bucks makes sense. Maybe then the P1P. But if it's, what, $140, $130 Canadian price difference between the two, yeah, get the P1S. Get the P1S. All day, every day, get the P1S. Like, even when this came out, when the P1P came out, it felt so, like, compared to the X1, it was like, wow, you guys cut the corners so much, you left half the machine in the factory. Like, literally, the fact that it shipped without panels is so, like, really? 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 Like, I know why they did it. They had to get something out on the market in less than $1,500 price point, but there we go. Voila. Oh yeah, so we got X1, P1P, which that will be replaced with a K1C when it shows up. Toasty Boy, filament that feeds that. We got Tall Boy, so we got 3 Vorons down there, 2 Bamboos, and another Voron. And those are pretty much, the printers on this shelf are pretty much the ones I use the most, except for the ones downstairs that I still use. Okay, so put you up here, your garbage. I'm gonna save you guys. I'm gonna need you for something, I don't know what. There we go. You can come with me, you can go over here. Also, I printed a thing, but the supports are crazy tight on it. So at some point tonight, we're gonna be breaking supports off. I printed a Chelsea. It's been a while since I printed a Chelsea model, so I printed a Chelsea model. There you go, you can live up there. I am getting cold. My nose is already starting to get cold. We'll see how far we make it today. I've got the emergency alcohol in case I get too cold and I need to forget that I'm cold. We'll see how long we get before I gotta dive into that. For the 50 millionth time on stream today, yes, I will be building a Milo mill. Yes, yes, it will be the LDO kit. Yes, I will be building one. You're not the first, second, third, fourth, or fifth person to ask on stream. So yes, so that will be the last time. So guys in chat and gals, if somebody asks going forward, if I'm building one of those things, just say yes. Because I'm not going to answer it anymore on stream because it's been enough. Nobody watches the stream from the beginning, apparently. Any pricing? No, I have no idea what the pricing is. Has it been announced publicly? If no, then it's not public yet. I really got to clean off this desk. I've got so many like little itty bitty, like, why do I got a spring? You go there, you go there. Springs go in the spring drawer. Okay. Glomar response. Yep. I'm just going to start saying Glomar response. And if you don't know what the Glomar response is, Google it. It's a great response. It's a great response. I like the Glomar response. Okay, so this printed on that. I'll add that to the pile of helmets in the corner here. I got to turn off the printer. We haven't blown any fuses yet. Yep. There we go. So, all. See, still moves. We haven't blown any fuses yet. But what I am going to do is turn it off. Right about there, right about there. What are you planning to do when you run out of space in my house? That's a good question. I'm probably gonna have to start getting rid of printers at some point. That's pretty much why I want to go to Murph this year, is so I can get rid of printers. Actually, before we do that, we're gonna peel panels for the next hour. Also, apparently there's a manual on how to put this together, so I gotta find that. I should have all the parts printed. Well, it's because it has a top hat. Normally this would only be 3 pieces. You have a door, a left and a right, and a top piece. But this has a top hat. So we have to build the top hat. Now, luckily, this is plastic, so I should be able to do the... Oh yeah, these should peel pretty good, I think. Yeah, we should be good on the peels on this. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Go grab a toddler beverage. I'm tempted to grab a beer already. I'm cold. I've got, you know how when you get cold, your nose gets cold and it just feels cold? And I don't like that. Well, that's what I got right now, is my nose is cold. It was cold today. It's like -6 or 7 Celsius out and windy. Make some hot cocoa bombs. I could. Hey, hon. If you're going in there, would you like to grab me a beer?
Yes,
thank you. Fire up the printers. We've been over this. Turning on the printers doesn't actually heat the room up. It makes a warm spot around the printers. The problem is it doesn't actually move air. So it doesn't heat the room up when you run the printers. Thank you. So we got that. What'd you get? Oh, one of those. Cool.
I was told to go downstairs to watch Mama's show.
Is that what Calvin told you to do?
Well, I want you to watch a Mama show downstairs. He doesn't want me to use this TV.
So he's in bed now?
With the door shut.
With the door. Ooh. But is his show still on the TV? Is that why he doesn't?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, have fun. The little guy has like an obsession with if he's watching a show on the TV, he doesn't want you using the TV after him until he finishes his show. So like, we let him like watch a show or something before bed, and if he has a good day. So he's watching a show and he goes to bed. He tells my wife, "Okay, you go watch your TV downstairs. Leave my show on." It's been a long time since I've had a Molson Canadian. But they were on sale. Can I get a beer too, please? Why do you need to get, who do you need to please? Why do you need a beer to please? Who are you pleasing with a beer? I don't want to know what you're doing to please someone with a beer. As a Voron owner in a tropical weather, Voron does heat up the room. It does. I'm not going to say it doesn't. Okay. Yeah. Obviously running printers does heat up a room, but it doesn't heat up a large room like this as quickly as you would think. And you're going to waste a ton of power dumping heat into that system. Now, for those wondering, this VZBot build did not include a few things. I'm not doing the side curtain air cooling on this. The frickin' CPAP machine moves enough air for anything I'm gonna print on here. I print ABS enclosed. My go-to filament is ABS enclosed. But I did print this Stormtrooper helmet in PLA with just as it is, and it printed just fine. At the normal speeds that I would print stuff at on this machine. So I'm not gonna go through the hassle of installing the side curtain system. Also, I'm not installing the exhaust system. I'm not putting the exhaust fan on it. I don't like exhaust in my machines. When I print machines, they're in a room where I don't live in. And I want the chambers getting as hot as they can. Putting a fan in that and a big hole in the back is not conductive to that. So if I print PLA, I just open the door. And yeah, so I'm not putting the fan in the back. So I'm not putting the chamber fan in, and I'm not putting the curtain air fan in. So yeah, I'm gonna plug the hole. And I'm just not gonna put the curtain air cooling in. I have the hardware to do it, and I may do it in the future, but considering this machine will be eating a bunch of ABS normally, it's never gonna use it. So I'm not gonna, it's like LEDs in a stealth burner. I don't put them in. It's just an extra step that for something I just don't use. Also, I've got this panel. I don't know which panel this is, but it's got the VZBot logo on it. I don't know what panel that is though. But you're not printing at plaid speed. I know I'm not. I prefer my prints to have structural integrity. Ooh. You know, I'm still gonna call this a rat rig a million times. Oh, the electronics panel. Oh, that's right. The electronics in the back are completely exposed. I keep forgetting about that. So that panel is probably gonna be the first panel I put on then. And then it's gonna sit against the wall and you'll never see the logo. So what I'm thinking is we build the top hat first, put that aside, and then do everything else. That's what I'm thinking. I will say, compared to the LDO kits, this comes off a lot easier than the LDO kit panel paper because they use that paper. But I will see, these are thinner than what comes with the LDO kits, I think. Is it? Yeah, it's thinner. This is only, where, oh, I'll put you back in here. There you are. 2.5 mil panels. So what is that, an 1/8 inch? They're only 2.5 inch or 2.5 mil, these panels. They're not thick. So I don't know what kind of chamber temps we'll get with this. Yeah. I don't know what these ones. So these ones are 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm assuming, yeah, these are for that. So let's build this top hat. So let's find the manual. Okay. VZBot, GitHub. Like your channel, you say that it is without someone throwing a lot of cash at you. What? Oh. I wish people threw wads of cash at me. That'd be great. Okay. Mellow kit. Side panels, top cover. Okay, let's do the top cover. So we're not doing that. There's that. Okay, do they not have instructions for this? Am I gonna have to figure this out on my own? Yeah, I might have to figure this out on my own. Let's go to the GitHub. Oh, mellow kit. I might just YOLO this. I know it can't be that hard. Yeah, let's just, I kind of wanted to go through the manual, just, you know, to go through the manual. But alas, poor Yorick. Tonight we ball. 1, 2, 3, 4. Need 4 of those. I'm gonna need a bunch of clippy things. Cool. Panels. There we go. Okay. So I'm assuming the long ones are the front to back ones. No? Why is that bigger? Trail features, 19.99. Cheers, appreciate it. Here's a wad of cash and a question. Compared to other industries, 3D produces far less waste. However, there is that you do see 3D can reduce waste more, where there's cost savings are just left for the landfill. Okay. In terms of waste with 3D printing, how do we reduce it? How do we make 3D printing more economical? It's quite simple. It's reduce, reuse, recycle. Recycle's on the bottom because it's the shittiest one. Avoid recycling. How do you avoid recycling? You reduce and you reuse. Ergo, use infill. Use only what you need to print the part. So if you're printing, you know, generic thing like this Wubby Ducky that sits on a desk and does nothing all day, it don't need 50% infill. It doesn't need 8 walls, okay? Print only what you need to print. Use support material. Use supports that, you know, use less support. Use snug supports. Use organic supports. Use any support that uses less material. Only print things you need. Don't print a million ding-dongs to throw them around work. That's the kind of thing that does the biggest impact. Reuse. Spools. Empty spool holders. Use them to hold lights and shit. I don't know. There's stuff you could do. The last thing you should do is recycle. If you can recycle, you can. The problem is it's very hard to recycle printed plastic. Most places won't take it. It's unlabeled, unsorted plastic. The most recycling places won't even take it because you show up with a bin of plastic and they go, cool, what kind of plastic is it? And you go, it's ABS. Okay, what kind of ABS? Is it, what's the percentage of it that's virgin? What's the percentage of it that's modified? Are there contaminants in it? You're gonna go, duh, trust me, bro, it's ABS. You know, half of it's like PETG or whatever. So like, it's not a good thing. So I'm assuming that goes like these. So these are just gonna go like that. So I'm assuming, yeah, I'm assuming it overhangs. It's gotta overhang. Is there a CAD for this? There's a CAD for this. Let me find the CAD for this. Mellow kit. Where's the CAD? Let me find the CAD for this. VZBot. I know there's a CAD for it. Here we go. Remember, I worked in a plastic injection molding shop where we built the molds. We weren't even in production, and we had a single bay tryout facility. So we had 3 presses that would run a tool each every now and then for tryouts. I have personally thrown out thousands of pounds of plastic directly into a bin, directly to the infill or to a landfill in one night. Okay? So no matter what I do for the rest of my life to offset my plastic consumption, it will never counteract a fraction of what I did in one night at work. And I worked there for 7 years. So it's industrial and commercial. That is the biggest issues of waste, with pollution, with all that. It's all industrial and commercial scale. You at home, you get guilt tripped into using plastic straw or using paper straws. They suck. But literally, you are nothing. We are nothing compared to industrial and commercial levels of pollution. So that does sit on there. So let's see. So hide. Oh, so the big ones go on the front. Ah, I see. Okay, that makes sense. Can I undo? I can't undo. Wow, that's great. Okay. Also, this is gonna be interesting. I don't know where all the screws are for this. I gotta find all the screws for this kit. I don't know where I put them. Okay, this is all Cocoa Press stuff. So let's put you up here. Are you? Nope. Are you for the VZBot? What, I got this. No, that's Prusa stuff. That's Prusa stuff. Oh, this might be it. Nope. What about you? You are a bunch of clips, but you're garbage. You're garbage. You're garbage. You're garbage. You're garbage. You're that. You're garbage. Hey, I found my... Okay, looks like I am raiding my personal stores because I don't know where the bin went. Okay. Hopefully these are M5s. Yep, we're good. Okay. But yeah, that's why, like, I have no qualms about if a print fails, I throw it right in the garbage. I don't recycle any of my prints because it literally makes, I know it's horrible for me to say this, but it makes no difference. Also, my recycling place doesn't have the capability to process 3D prints anyways. So And it's starting to see a trend where 3D printing needs to sit back and ask how long before it's a small part of the problem. Here's the thing, they don't care. I know, again, this is the wrong thing to say, but me, you, and the rest of us in this chat here are a fraction of the community, and majority of people just don't care. It's like open source and 3D printing, you know. A million people can complain about, you know, a company's, you know, about, oh, everything should be open source, and then people will just gladly go happy buy a FISEC one-to-one clone of a Prusa Mark III. Like, it's shitty. It's really shitty. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a good thing. It's a horrible thing, but it is what it is. Majority of people probably don't care. Majority of people don't care. It'd be nice if more people cared. It'd be great if more people cared. And we had systems in place that actually do all this stuff. But alas, poor Yorick, people just don't care. How do these attach? Do I just attach them with... Is the vertical just held on with... I guess the corners just hold it on. They only have 2 holes. There's only a hole here. Or is the hole supposed to be in the top? They don't even have the holes modeled in here. Okay, they don't even have the holes. Okay, so these are blind joints, obviously. But they only have 1 hole, not 2. So the vertical part, I think, just is held on by the plastic part. Okay. Fabrico Shammy gifted 5 community memberships. Cheers and appreciated. Don't forget, this week on probably Thursday is the monthly members live stream. So every month we do a live stream that is just members of the channel and supporters. And that will be Wednesday, so, or Thursday probably. So be there or be square. And try not to do what Grant did and hit myself in the head with a panel. Also, in case you can't tell, I'm just assembling this on the wood. I'm just gonna YOLO it and hope it's flat enough. Also, my hands are getting cold. This metal's cold. If I do it, it's not your fault. What are you saying, Steve? Are we early or later stream this week? Oh, this week, it'll be early again. It's 2 weeks early, 2 weeks late. I know it got kind of screwed up with the holiday. Because my wife's schedule was kind of not consistent through that. So my schedule wasn't consistent. But yeah, this week we are back on 11s again. So it'll be 11 a.m. start for the Tuesday and Friday stream. And then the week after we go back to the 2 p.m.s. I think my biggest frustration, it's easier to do nothing than it is to do something. But here's the thing, if I completely change my entire lifestyle to be a Disney princess with nature, okay? And I don't consume anything that even casts a shadow. In the grand scheme of things, it does absolutely nothing. In the grand scheme of things, I've offset a you know, multi-million ton freighter idling outside of the Suez Canal for 5 seconds. If I completely, you know, removed myself from the equation. And not even 5 seconds. I might have offset it burning bunker fuel, just idling for like a second. Okay. Do I want the logo up? I want the logo up. Okay, so we're gonna need a whole bunch of M3s here. Hopefully M38s work because I've got a ton of these. Yep. And T-nuts. All the T-nuts. I am cold. I don't like this. I don't like being cold. I'm getting cold. I'm not liking this. Yo, dog, I am not having fun today. We'll see how long the stream lasts. What Voron builder doesn't have a million? I'm running low again because I've been doing builds and end up using them for stuff. Switch these around. Okay. Wait, does that even? It doesn't even. Oh! I gotta put the panel in there. It holds the panel. I gotta get the panel. Shit. I'm like, the holes don't line up. They don't line up because you gotta put this in with the panel. Which means I gotta find foam so I can gasket this panel up before I put this on. And I don't know if this kit came with foam. I don't think it did. Like the panel foam that we use. So I gotta run downstairs to get some. So I'll be back. And I am back. Oh. No, go up there, go up there, go up there. No, quit doing that. There we go. Okay, where's the square panel? All right, nope, not that one, this one. So I've got two things of foam here. I've got thicker foam and thinner foam. And hopefully I got enough to do this. So I'll do the thicker foam on the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I got enough. Okay. Anyone get corporate tinfoil hats? I need to make some. Just so I have something to put on when we have our little tirades. Also, I need to set up when I hit the button for the rant. Oh, this is, okay. I'm gonna use it anyways, I don't care. This is the stuff I got with the VZBot kit, and it works really good, but it is really gummy, stick-wise. So it's good, but it's it might be a little too good. Pollute the earth with tinfoil to prevent 5G. Too late, it's already here. You do the same thing as the corner panels. This stuff squishes pretty good. This stuff is very squishy. Also, the reason I'm using it is because the other stuff I have is actually double-sided, so I have to like put it on without unsticking the other side. Otherwise, I'm gonna have a bad time. So I'm all out of like the regular, like the actual spec stuff, I'm all out of. It sucks. I'm running out of stuff that I normally have a ton of because I don't self-source anything anymore and I only use what comes with kits. So like, if a kit doesn't come with something, I have to go into my stores and I'm running low on my stores. Like I've already gone through and bought a bunch. I bought DuPonts, I bought JST connectors. I've already gone and like restocked some of my inventory. I went and bought a shelf or a dresser or like a cubicle or a storage thingy for downstairs because the whole downstairs is a complete mess because I'm redoing the whole room right now. So like I can't stream in the basement even if I wanted to right now because nothing is hooked up. The computer is completely taken apart. Well, not taken apart, like the computer's, I just unplugged everything. It's all moved and like, so I'm in the process of redoing all of that right now. So tonight we're gonna have a nice, easy, relaxing night. I'm gonna drink beer, I'm gonna freeze, and we're gonna panel up a printer and make it nice and warm. Sound good? That sounds good. That sounds good. I really don't like the fact that there's holes in this though, which means I gotta like, this is gonna get really annoying real quick. I got a feeling. There we go. Okay. Yeah, my hands are all sticky already. Yeah. So the annoying part is there's holes in here. So I gotta go and put screws through all these with hammerheads. Do I have M3 hammerheads? I'm running so low on M3 hammerheads. How am I out of M3 hammerheads? Because I've got T-nuts. The thing is, I don't want to use the T-nuts. Because they're going to be annoying to use. Oh, here we go. This might be it. You're garbage. Oh, here we go. M3. There we go. And give me a whole whack load of M38s. Please tell me I have a whole thing of M38s in here. M310s. I don't need. Oh, you know what? We'll use M310s because I think I need 10s because I got the foam, right? Yeah, let's try M310s. Let's see if this works. Let's see if this works. Okay. Why not both? Oh, that's a good question. So yeah, that's one thing that I've noticed, like between building the rat rig, the VZBot, is how often or how many times you use so many different screws on these builds. Really? Really? There we go. It's gonna be annoying. I'm gonna have to use hammerheads for this and disassemble them. Okay, so if you go there, you go there. And of course, you don't line up. go. I'm just doing 2 right now just to make sure that the screws don't bottom out. And they're not even, they're hammerheads, so of course they're not even going in right. There we go. Yeah, they're fucking hammerheads. I hate hammerheads. I absolutely hate hammerheads. I absolutely despise hammerhead screws. Hammerheads are the screws that rotate. Or the T-nuts that fit in slots that rotate are hammerheads. Okay? So the annoying part is, half the time when you screw them in, they don't even screw in. They just spin this until it just stops. So instead, what I'm going to do is we are going to line these up manually. Oh yeah, because 2 of these are 2 of these are the bigger ones, but I'm not putting handles on it. I'm not putting handles on. It's going to be too tall with handles. So I'm not bothering with handles. Actually, this goes this way. No, it doesn't. It goes this way. Okay. T-nuts. This goes there. Just use rolling nuts. That's what I'm using. But the problem with rolling nuts is you have to put them in before you put the panel on. You can't do like, at least with hammerheads you can like drop them in. But this you have to like put them on, line everything up, make sure everything's lined up. Okay, now we're good. So I do need M5s. Okay, so that's that one. This is annoying. This is annoying. They see me rolling, they hating. Trying to catch me riding dirty. Okay. There we go. That goes there. So yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm doing for a bench behind me here, because the way I set up this room originally in terms of like wiring and everything, the plan is I have a 20 amp circuit that lives just on this wall basically. And I think it's that outlet right there, or might have one down here. I can't remember exactly. But this is where I envisioned CNC would go. So the Milo mill, the Millennium mill, V1.5 is gonna live here. And I'm hoping there's room for this next to it, but probably not. So now I gotta figure out where this is gonna go. Because the CNC is probably gonna take up this whole section now. So now I gotta figure out where the VZBot's gonna live. Which kind of screws up my plans a bit. Nope, I forgot. Fives. 200 of the Masumi. I've got a whole bunch of them that I bought back in the day that I've never used because they're like, literally, it's like a potion. It's like a potion in a video game, right? You get that, you know, that one potion that, oh, will revive your entire party and restore their health fully, and you never use it through the whole freaking game. That's me and my Masumi T-Nuts. I think I've used like, I bought a 50 pack of them. I think I've used 3. Yep. Oh, you're an M5. For a printer giveaway. I might do that. I gotta figure out how many, like, here's the thing. I don't think there's a maker space in my town. There is one in town, so like downtown Windsor, I believe. But I don't know who operates it. They have a Facebook page, but I don't really use Facebook. And it doesn't seem too active, so I don't know if it's like actually a thing or not. And as for schools, I have looked into my kids' school, but it's not really a thing. Like I can't, like, I'm like, hey, I do 3D printing stuff. I've got a bunch of printers. Is that something you guys can use? And they're like, not really, kind of, no, maybe, sort of, kind of. And I'm like, oh, okay. There we go. They can't survive Silicon. Oh, Silicon Valley, yeah, they would not. I live in Southern Ontario, so the problem is like I don't know how much they. I don't know how makerspaces function, because usually it's what you have members, and you pay a membership due, and that kind of basically pays. Okay, I think I have more parts printed here. Where did I put all the printed parts for this? Oh, they're right here. I have studio space for rent. Well, here's the thing, like, I've been looking to rent a place. It's been like an off and on thing for a while now, is me trying to find a place to rent to try and run this channel out of. But that ain't gonna happen because of prices, put it that way. With hex, it does come with metric hex bits, but it only comes with a couple. Like the stock set, which I have somewhere, only comes with like an assortment of random things. I bought the metric hex set bit though. Little guy had a little bit of a freak out. What is your Polymaker link question? I don't know, have fun. I love how many people think I'm being serious with the skill testing questions. I'm loving that. Thank you. You want to know why the questions are all weird lately? You ready? You ready? It's so I can farm you for engagement. Simple as that. That's the only reason I'm using all these funky questions. I'm having fun. I sit here for like 2 seconds before the stream starts going, what kind of weird question will I use today? But it's straight up, so I'll get you to put a thing in chat going, hey, what's up with the question? Because then I just farmed you for engagement, so thank you. I'm a professional YouTuber now. There we go. Mr. Beast can do it. I can do it. Look, Dad, I'm a farmer. I want to watch Tropic Thunder again. Playing 4D chess, exactly. 3D printed 4D chess. Anti-gambling laws. Technically, this isn't a Canadian giveaway because Polymaker's in the, well, international. So I have no idea if that works. Technically, I do have a skill testing question. So. Who is this Mr. Beast? Alan, if you don't know who Mr. Beast is, I envy you. I envy you. Doesn't that kit come with corner joints? The top hat, at least the non-joint version. It comes with 3D printed corner joints. Oliver, gifted a community membership. Cheers and appreciate it. I've never seen any of his video. I can't remember. I watch his videos. I do watch Mr. Beast videos. He is the #1 YouTuber for a reason. He makes entertaining shit. Obviously, it's not for everyone. And it is like second monitor content, that's for sure. But I ain't got nothing against Jimmy. He's doing a good, he's killing it as a YouTuber, so I can't really complain. Good for him. Okay, so this is gonna go like that. Now, how does this go again? Okay, so this has to go on one side. So this will be the back. So that's the side. So this is the back. And then this goes like this, I think. So I'm gonna have to panel in. Oh wow, that fits tight. I don't think we're gonna be able to foam this one up. Okay, let's do this. Let's line you up. And let's line you up. Let's put you in here. He's #2. Yeah, but #1 is T-Series, which doesn't count because that's a content farm. Like that's like a company. It's not a real thing. Okay, why won't you line up? There we go. Dang it, a bunch of these holes aren't drilled all the way through. There we go. There we go, okay. Adam Taraj, hello there. Why aren't you going in? Of course you don't line up. Come on. Come on, get in your slot. There you go. There we go. You go there, and you get in your hole. There we go. I'm getting cold. My nose is cold. I don't like this. Let me warm up. No, come on. There you go. You go there. There we go. There we go. Okay. So I gotta put one of these in the middle now so I don't forget. Well, I will say these T-nuts are a little tight in here. I hear a train. Oh, should probably put in all the T-nuts first. Molson for the win. It's okay. I'll be honest, the only reason I bought it is because I was at Walmart today and it was on sale. And by sale, I mean it was like $1 off. Because alcohol doesn't really go on sale. And considering I don't really drink that much anymore, it's like I need something for the Saturday night stream. go. Trying to line up this hole. There we go. Get that started. Hot cocoa with some booze added. That would involve going inside and getting like the kettle going and whatnot. Oh, I need the plate. Really worth the money and time comparison to a Bamboo X1. Here's okay, we're gonna have to have a talk about printers and who needs what, because the printer market has shifted considerably in the past 2 years, and it's really changed for the better and for the worse. Here's the thing. People who still want to build their own printers still have great options. But there used to be an overlap of people that, I don't want to tune a printer, but I'm okay building a printer because of the end result. So a lot of those people don't build anymore, because there was a group of people, there are people that they don't care about build, they just want the best printer. And they were okay building a Voron. The thing is now, you could just buy a Voron essentially, which a Bamboo. So you can get a machine that's, you know, of that tier without having to build it anymore. But for a while, there were people that were okay building it because you couldn't buy that machine. Well, now you can. So yes, the market for DIY high-end machines has probably dropped quite a bit in the past, you know, 2 years or so since Bamboo came out. But that doesn't mean the market's dead, because there's still people that I want to build my own printer. Those people still exist, and they'll keep existing, and they'll keep building Vorons and rat rigs and VZBots and K3s and whatnot. So it's not the end of the world. It's just the one market that used to exist has kind of narrowed down. Oh, I'm good. Thanks, hon. Yeah, come on. That is, of course, until you pop on the Bamboo Discord or Bamboo subreddit. Then everyone will tell you that, you know, every printer that's on a Bamboo is dead. You just get a Troodon. Here's the thing. I said people who want a good printer. The Troodon is, Mom, can we have a Voron? We have Voron at home. The Troodon is the Voron at home. Like, it's a Voron that has nothing in common with a Voron. So in that case, you're buying it on its own merits, and its own merits are kind of eh. If you like it, you like it. I'm not saying if you like it, you like it. I've not heard amazing things about it. Oh, that's tight. And essentially it's a commercial Voron, but it's not, it's not a Voron. So you're not buying a Voron, you're buying a Troodon. And it has nothing to do with a Voron. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Bamboo is Apple. Bamboo is the Apple of 3D printing. And Apple is the company that just came out with a $35.99 VR headset that is not compatible with any VR games that exist on the current market, has no controllers, and has a comes with as much built-in storage as my base model Pixel 6 from like 4 years ago. And if you want more storage, it'll cost you hundreds of dollars, because you know that's not what storage costs. Oh, and it's got no YouTube app, no Netflix app. And it weighs a ton. So that's bamboo. Oh wait, no, that's Apple. Sorry, that's Apple. Bamboo is the Huawei of 3D printing. Well, hopefully they're not, because Huawei is banned by the governments of several countries, including the US and Canada, I think, too. So, okay, why that one doesn't want to go in? Oh, loosen these first. Bamboo will be the Apple of 3D printers when it does come out with feet that are another 100. I want a Mac so bad. That's the funny thing. I want a Mac. I want to buy a MacBook. The problem is I refuse to buy a MacBook with their predatory pricing schemes. Like, I refuse to spend over $1,500 Canadian dollars for a laptop with less than 8 gigs of RAM. Let's be honest. The fact that my wife's i5 2500K computer has 16 gigs of RAM from 2011. Apple refurb. I've been looking. I would love to get my hands on just for travel, because I don't really edit on the road. So right now my laptop is a ThinkPad. It's a ThinkPad with an i7 7300U. It's good for movies. It's good for surfing the internet. That's all I use on my travels, and I'm good with that. I would love something that could do editing though. That's the only downside with my ThinkPad, is it can't really edit. Like if I've edited a 4K video on it before, on the go. It's a pain in the butt. Like we're talking, I hit render and go to bed and wake up and it might be done. Yeah, I don't like editing 4K files. But pretty much all like the base model MacBook Airs with the M1 come with like 8 gigs of RAM and a 256 gig SSD. The fact that the camera I'm recording to has more storage than a MacBook is annoying. And it's like, oh, I'll just upgrade. Oh, no, you can't upgrade it. Can't upgrade it. It had to be thin. It's got to be thin, so you can't upgrade it. So that means the moment it's no longer sufficient hardware-wise, it's e-waste. You know, I could put 2 NVMe drives in my ThinkPad if I wanted to. Solder the RAM and storage. Yep, they've created their own little artificial scarcity problem. Like the fact that you can't upgrade it is so annoying. Because here's the thing, NVMe drives are not that big. Like if your MacBook was like, what, 2 mil thicker, I don't think anyone would notice. Because I'm sorry, 8 gigs of RAM in 2024 is pathetic. I don't care about, ooh, it's an Apple, it's more efficient. Yeah, cool, DaVinci Resolve isn't an Apple product. There we go. It's kind of, oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. That's why I want the M1, or that's why I want an M Mac. It's really efficient and whatnot. But it's like, you know, yeah, you got some compatibility issues and whatnot. But you know, for everyday use, it's good. The problem is, they're shaming everyone with their silicon, and then everyone's completely dunking on them with the value. I'm sorry, 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage on a $2,000 laptop is pathetic. It is absolutely pathetic, and you cannot defend that. You cannot defend that. My headphones are gonna die on me because I didn't charge them. Crud. Okay. So that's the back. So how does this work? Okay, so that goes on like that, and that goes on like that. Okay. Apple does have a massive advantage. They control both the hardware and software. They don't control DaVinci Resolve. They control the OS, and that's it. They don't control any program I install on my Mac. So if I install a program on my Mac that, you know, works better with more than 8 gigs of RAM, which, let's be honest, pretty much everything does, yeah. Like, considering how much it costs to buy, you know, RAM and an NVMe drive, and with Apple, you're not even paying for the interface. You're just paying for the chips that you put on your motherboard at bulk prices. I'm sure they could make their shit more economical, and it would be great because then, you know, more people would buy it, but they don't. These ones will be easy because I can slide them in. Mac Pro and 20, and that thing was a workhorse, but they're disposable computers. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And especially now that you can't upgrade it. I'm sorry, even right now, even if you buy 8 gigs of RAM right now and it's okay, in 3 years, is it? Who knows? Who knows what the ecosystem will be like in 3 years? It's like video games. All of a sudden, you know, a 10 gigabyte video card is not enough to play a modern game at 1080p. Like, obviously there's a bunch of games that work, but like, there are games coming out that you need a video card with like 16 gigs of VRAM because the consoles use 16 gigs of VRAM. So games are being developed with 16 gigs of VRAM in mind. So all of a sudden, you know, your 6 gig video card ain't enough anymore. All of a sudden, that just changed in a couple of years. We've gone from video cards that had, you know, 4, 8, 12 gigs of RAM. Now it's like 24 gigs is you know, that's on what the high tier cards are, and like 12 gigs and whatnot. That's happened very quickly. So to think that won't ever happen with RAM in a Mac is ridiculous. And the moment it does, your Mac is now e-waste because you can't upgrade it. Like, who was I talking to? Who was I was talking, I'm not gonna name names, but I know somebody that was like, they have the new, like a new M3 Mac, and they're like, hey, I'm on a plane flight, I'm gonna download Baldur's Gate 3. They only have 256 gigs of storage on their Mac. They can't install the game. There is not enough room to install the game. Or they had a 512, they had a 512, and they already had a couple programs and a couple games, it was already full, it was full. 512 is nothing. Oh, this uses the little one. Okay. So. Memory prices are going up. I know they're going up, but they're not going up by that much. They're not going up by 200 bucks for 16 gigs. Same with storage. The prices Apple charges to upgrade your storage and RAM are like straight up like scammy. Like, I'm sorry, $200 to upgrade from 8 to 16 gigs of RAM. $200 to upgrade from 256 to 512 of storage. Considering you can buy a 1 terabyte NVMe drive for under 100 bucks, is straight up scammy, and everyone's okay with it. Everyone's okay with it because it's Apple, and the Apple people are like, well, it's more efficient. I'm like, I don't care about efficiency. I care about the fact that you're being gouged and you're okay with it. I remember paying for. Oh, I remember when I bought a 16 gigabyte or 16 megabyte, or no, what was it? It was 128 megabyte thumb drive. I bought one in high school and it cost me $130. I paid $1 a megabyte for a thumb drive back in the day. I remember those days. Build a Hackintosh? Why would I build a Hackintosh? I've got a Windows computer that does everything I need. Why would I need a Mac? Why would I use a Mac OS without the hardware? You use Macs for the hardware. Like, I want the super efficient Mac chips. I want that. I want to buy a Mac. I just refuse to because of their business practices. I think their business practices are very scummy and they take advantage of people. And to be honest, most of their products don't really entice me that much anyways. I just want the laptop, basically. A nice, efficient laptop that can do what I want and then do what I need it to do in a pinch. Simple as that. So for now, my ThinkPad T470S running Linux Mint is good to go. That's why I'm looking at either, because right now I've got to do a bunch of purchases for equipment for the channel this year. I've got to get a new camera for covering events, a backpack, and a few other things. And depending on how this year goes with traveling to events, I may end up looking to getting an actual laptop that I can edit on the road. Because that's one thing I can't do. I can't edit on the road. I can't with my current setup. But I haven't really had a need to. If that changes, I'm probably looking at either a Framebook or a Lenovo T14 with the Ryzen. Get a ThinkPad T14 with the Ryzen processor. Because I was looking at it today. From Lenovo, okay, T14, 14-inch laptop, 32 gigs of RAM, or sorry, 16 gigs of RAM, a Ryzen 7 7350, 512 gigs of storage, a 1920 by 1200 60 hertz display, whatever, I don't care. And the upgraded battery for 1200 Canadian. I'm sorry, that's gonna last you way longer than a base model MacBook. And that costs several $100s more. I'm not gonna get it because I don't need it right now, but I was just looking, I'm like, wow, it's a lot cheaper than I thought it would be. Now, granted, it's also on sale for like half off right now, but. If I had the budget. T14 with wise. Yeah, that's something I've been keeping an eye on is use Lenovo. So much value in an old ThinkPad. Every week the drivers separately need improvement. Yeah, I've heard hit and miss things with the frameworks. I was looking at one too. That's also like on the list of what I may end up getting. Whatever I get, it would just put Linux on it. I would just put Linux on it, like just put like Linux Mint on it. Because let's be honest, all I would do is very rarely edit a video. And I'm pretty sure DaVinci works in Linux as long as you have a GPU, which I think the Ryzen's count, so. And it would be a 13. I don't like big laptops. Like my T470S is about as big as I would get for a laptop. I like smaller laptops, like 13, 14-inch screens. You got a 10th gen ThinkPad X1, nice. So yeah, how do we get talking about this? This ain't right. I should be ranting about bamboos. What's going on here? Something ain't right. Something ain't right here. Something's wrong. I could feel it. Take care, Dianos. Are there any filaments that shouldn't be used in freshwater aquariums? Most? I don't know. The problem with filament, the problem with a 3D printed thing in an aquarium is keeping it clean. all the nooks and crannies in a 3D printed thing are just going to be a haven for bacteria. So you may want to, I don't know, I've never looked into it. But that is something you may want to look into, because they might be a problem. It's the same reason you can't make food safe stuff out of 3D printed stuff, because of the bacteria issues. PETG would probably be your best bet. Print it really hot and really slow so you get good layer adhesion. But that is probably, like, it really depends. It really depends. Oh wait, these are oh shoot, can I get this out? Oh no. Wait, these are M5s. Yeah, these are M5s. Or no, are these M3s? Yeah, those are M3s. They are M3s. Are you kidding me? Want those chemicals in the plastic? I mean, let's be honest, there's already microplastics in everything. Leach into the water? Probably not. Like, how would it break? It would have to break down to leach into the water, right? And it's an aquarium, so it's probably not the greatest water to begin with. My nose is so cold. I'm gonna start sniffing. It's warmed up though, we're 12.5 Celsius. Buy a used MacBook. I've been looking. The problem is I can't find them. Also, when I do find them, they're 1,400 bucks. And at 1,400 bucks, I'm buying the newer, better spec ThinkPad. Remember, I live in Canada, so our used market sucks too. Don't forget that. There we go. They hold their value, but I don't think they hold it better than they should. It's like a Tacoma. It's like you get that guy who has that absolutely ancient beat to shit Tacoma that is they're trying to get 15 grand for, and you know it's not 15 grand, but it's a taco, so they think they can get 15 grand for it. You know, it's like rusted apart and it's been beat to shit. And they're like, it's a taco, it's worth 15 grand. You're like, yeah, but it's a complete base model and it's completely rusted through. I could put my hand through your frame. Yeah, but it's a taco. I don't know about X1 Carbon. We'll see. I'm not gonna be buying a laptop anytime soon. Again, my ThinkPad, the T470S is good enough for anything I use it on the go. Be honest, the only thing I really use it for is watching videos in hotel rooms. That's pretty much what I use it for, and when I'm traveling. Because even when I'm on a plane, most planes have, you know, entertainment built in now too. Heart my taco. Ken, I drove a taco for the first time last year, actually at Rocky Mountain Rep Rap Fest. I needed a rental vehicle to get me from the airport to the venue, and I rented the cheapest vehicle I could. And when I went to the dealer or the rental place, they're like, yeah, we don't have what you rented in stock, so we're gonna bump you up a level. And bumping me up a level put me in a base model taco. Whatever the absolute base model of a Toyota Tacoma is, they put me in. I hated it. I hated it. It was the worst driving vehicle I had ever been in. It barely had any power. And I was also driving it in Denver. Which, for those that know, is the Mile High City. So you know it was sucking air. Boeing planes. I don't fly Boeing. I fly Airbuses. Although I will say, when I flew across the Atlantic to go to Smurf, I was on a 787, or no, yeah, 787. I don't think they make a 797. Yeah, 787 Dreamliner. That was a nice flight. That was the smoothest flight I've ever been on. It was super, like, the entertainment was good. There was plenty, well, I flew in economy, but for economy, storage, like, room was good. Like, that was actually a nice flight because it's actually a new plane. Oh, shoot, I went too far. Uh-oh, uh-oh. I dug too deep. Get back up, get back up. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, that goes there. That goes like that. Make sure I don't put this in upside down. It's funny, when I first started streaming, the very first streams that you saw, if you go back and watch my very first stream, that was on a Lenovo X201. That was a Lenovo X201 with a Logitech C920 streaming directly to YouTube, not even through OBS, just webcam straight to YouTube. You used to be able to do that. Now you can't really do it anymore. This Smurf is happening again this year. I don't know for sure, and I can't confirm anything for sure, but my understanding is they very much want to hold it again. So they want to do it again, but I can't really give you, you know, this is happening for sure. Okay. So now I got to put these on the back. I think these are supposed to be M4, but I'm using M3 because screw it. Okay, that doesn't sit right. I'm gonna have to flip this upside down and slide them in like I did before. Because this goes on like that, and then this is our ability to open and close it. Okay. Because I don't think I could put an M5 in there. Yep, that ain't gonna work. Don't think you know the difference between a Mac and a PC. I would have done everything with an M2 Air with everything you say 8K. Okay, Mike, load up a Mac, load up Discord, and edit a whole bunch of videos. Like, I just know my computer, you know, I know how much Windows takes up. When I boot my computer up and I you know, I hit Control-Alt-Delete, and I look at my task manager, and I look, right now, streaming, I'm using 7.2 gigs of 16 gigs. Okay. I don't have Fusion open. I'm not editing. I don't have a game running. I don't have Discord open. Actually, I do have Discord open. Also, yeah, 8 gigs might be okay right now, but is it going to be okay in 3 years from now? If I'm dropping $1,500 on a laptop, it better damn last me more than 3 years. Like, yes, I know Mac is more efficient, but RAM is still RAM, and programs will use it. So if you're stuck with 8, you're stuck with 8, and you can never upgrade it from 8. That's my thing, is it might be okay, but the moment it's not, and you can't do shit about it. It's done. Like, the fact that a base model Mac Pro comes with 8 gigs of RAM for over $2 grand is a pathetic joke. And if you try to justify it, it doesn't work. You can't justify it. That for over $2 grand, 8 gigs of RAM is okay for a laptop. You can't sit here with a straight face and go, yep, for $2 grand, 8 gigs and 256 gigs of storage is perfectly acceptable for over $2,000 on a laptop. You can't. You can't. And then you can't tell me that, you know, oh, $200 is a proper value for upgrading from 8 to 16 gigs of RAM. You can't. You just go with it because you have no choice. That is too long. I might not have the right size screws for this. Because I need like 12 mil. Yeah, maybe this will work. Nope. This might not work. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. Max, the 8 gig Max, the base models, will use your SSD as a swap. And because they use a low spec chips, you kill your SSD really quickly. I remember reading about that. Mac OS will use the SSD as swap space. So that means you burn up your SSD, which by the way, you can't replace. So, and I know they went with cheaper chips on some of the newer ones too. So that's another thing too. If you don't have enough RAM, you're gonna use up a swap, your SSD as swap, which is how you get by when you don't have enough RAM. And you're gonna kill your SSD even quicker. Because you can't, you know, oh no, I killed my SSD, let me replace it and buy a 1 terabyte one for under 100 bucks online. Oh wait, I can't, it's a Mac. It's a Mac, I can't upgrade it, I can't replace it. I better make an appointment with the Mac store and buy something online because I can't even walk into the Mac store and buy something anymore. Freaking seeing Uncle Jesse complain about that, I'm like, really? 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 What the hell, Apple? Okay, what size is this screw? Make sure this is the right size, because I gotta find this. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's another thing too. Lord help you if your computer dies. You better hope Louis Rossman's still in operation if your computer dies and you need to get information off of it. Okay, why the heck? I got 2 screws here and they're exactly the same length, but one works and one doesn't. What the heck is going on here? Oh! Oh, bloody hell. There's 2 holes here and they're countersunk to different depths. That's why it's not working. That's why that's not working. There we go. That explains it. Why are you saying you want a Mac? I just want one for travel. Because they're really battery efficient. They're really good at basic tasks. And if I need to, I can edit a video on them on a pinch. Like they're built, they're really good. It's just, I don't think they're worth what they are worth. I think you're overpaying for the entry level ones. And I think the higher end ones are way overpriced. So. Also, this all started because we were complaining about bamboo or something. I don't even know how we're on this topic or why we're still talking about laptops. I don't even know. I'm just building an enclosure here, guys. Don't forget to like the smash button. You want to win some filament? You want to win some filament? I'm going to give away some filament at the end of stream. Enter for your chance. I am really cold. I am really cold. Get a framework. When it comes to it, I'll either get a framework or a ThinkPad, because ThinkPads go on sale for quite a bit every now and then. Also, I do want to be able to play a game on the go. That's another thing too. I would like to be able to play a game on the go. Framework 16. I don't want a 16-inch laptop. Literally, I would love, to be honest, I want a Stream Deck, a Steam Deck, but that I can't justify at all for any purpose. But basically, I just want something with a Ryzen, so it's got a decent enough iGPU so that I can play a game if I need to. But it's still, you know, pretty good on battery and what size and whatnot. So here's the top hat. It's the top hat. It goes and then you go down. So let's put you on the ground and let's get the printer over here. So you're unplugged, okay. Ow. Hopefully I'm not breaking anything. Can I? Oh no, are we good? Yeah, no, that's good. I don't like the screen on this. I have hit this screen off so many things. I'm not a fan of the screen on the default setup on this because it hangs lower than the printer feet. Yeah, see, like, and I don't like this screen. I do not like this screen setup on here. It is annoying the heck out of me. I'm tempted to rip it off at this point. But yeah, okay, let's put this on. Yeah, I have almost ripped that screen off a few times by now, actually. Okay. How does this work? Oh, I gotta replace those. Okay. So there's these guys. And that just a bolt that goes? Really? That's it? Okay. I printed the wrong ones. Oh wait, no, wait. Oh, these slide in. Okay, I see how this goes. Okay. Let me turn this around. Oh my, I've got so many panels. Yeah. Running out of room again. Okay. Yeah, see what I mean about the screen? Super annoying. I really don't like this screen on this. This feels so much like an afterthought. Like, I know it has to go low so you can open the panels, but then like, mount it here or something. I don't know. Come on. Okay. So, how this works is I've got these guys. So this goes in here, and then this slides into here. So this goes like that. Okay. That goes like that. And then I put a bolt through, and I think that's it. I just get a big fat whatever, shove it in. Like, it doesn't call out for anything. It's just a pin. Like, one of my dowels. M5 dowel. Is it, there we go. Yeah, I'm just gonna shove some M5 dowels in there. Why not? I've got them. I think they're just friction fit anyways. There you go. M5 dowel, M5 dowel. I don't think they actually need, like, it's not like they're gonna be vibrated out. How have the prints been on the VZBot? Pretty good. I haven't done a lot of printing. I've only printed PLA on it. It does need tuning. I haven't done input shaper on it. I haven't done pressure advance because I'm waiting until I get it like done. Because there's no point in tuning a printer that isn't finished, right? Especially like when you're gonna enclose it, because once you enclose it, it will behave entirely differently. But, oh, there you go. So, if you're wondering, it actually will hold itself up. And then, oh, okay. So obviously you want to hold it from the front, otherwise these will pop out. But there you go. So that goes up, and that comes down. There we go. Okay, so now I got to put the side panels on. How do the side panels work? Or actually, let's put this back on. Or actually, let's do the side panels. I'm getting really cold. We might be ending this a little bit early because I'm not joking. I'm getting cold out here. We might be ending this early. Also, my headphones just died. Great. 1 second here. Oh, where'd my headphones go? Where'd you go? You're still playing. Properties. Is that it? No. There you go. There's the music. Okay. 2.5 hours for a side. Deeply 9999. How wrong you are. First off, we played around with the bamboo for a bit. And secondly, we built a top hat. We haven't done any side panels. So you are wholly incorrect. We're 2.5 hours and we haven't even gotten to the side panel yet. And not even 2.5 hours. We're 2 hours and 15 minutes. Learn to count. Okay. So. Okay, so I gotta take off these little things I jammed in there. Great. I got these little purple things that I jammed in there. I gotta pull them out now because they don't fit in there with the panels. So I gotta take out these guys. Also, I gotta print some spacers to hold this stuff in. Because right now this is all held on with blue tape. That ain't good. Okay. So panels should be pretty easy. They should just bolt right on. But I'm gonna have to put the foam on it, which is gonna kind of suck. How does this even work? Why do these, wait, does that, wait. How does this work? You go there, you go there. You don't line up with anything. Do you go there? Oh, you line up with that. Okay, I see how this goes. Okay, so that goes there. This shouldn't be too bad. This shouldn't be too bad. Okay. And then those holes are for the thing that I'm not using. Cool. So now I got to put this on the ground because I've got to get the whatchamacallit set up. So I've got to put the foam on the panels, which I'm going to need space to do it. So let's move you over here, you over here. You can go over there. You go there, you go there. You know what? I'm actually just gonna put you back on the shelf here. That way, I don't have to lean down on the ground like a Neanderthal. And I think I might have just broken the screen. I really don't like the screen on this. I really don't like this screen. I really don't like that screen. Okay. So this goes like that. Okay, actually, it goes like that. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so this goes like that. Okay, cool. I'm not hearing music because my headphone died and it's really weird. So these kind of suck because they're double-sided. And I obviously only have the one side. So I kind of have to leave the white on the one side. Otherwise it's gonna stick and we're not gonna have a good time. That's okay. That's okay. It is way too quiet in here. Not having music playing is really annoying or really weird. There we go. Nope, nope, nope. Shoot, I screwed up. I screwed up. I screwed up. I screwed up. Nope, nope. Quit doing that. Quit. Quit doing that. You're gonna go right there. I'm gonna cut you. I'm gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. I can fix it. We can fix it. See, what I should do is just use VHB for this, because VHB will act like the gasket and also hold the panel on. So that way I don't have to deal with screws. Win-win, right? I see this as an absolute victory. Also, I'm gonna have to use hammerheads for this, I think, because there ain't no way I'm gonna be able to line up all this. So it'll have to be like, get all the hammerheads installed, then put the panel on, line everything up, and then fiddle around and screw it all in tight. Go. There we go. Okay, one panel done. Other panel. Okay, match the other side. Okay. So those two at the top. One, and that one, and that. Wait. Did I do this backwards? Shit, did I do this backwards? I might have done this backwards. Crap. I did this backwards, I think. Because these aren't the same. Ugh. Shit. I did it backwards. Because this is closer to the front. So this panel gets that. So if I'm looking at this one, and it's the other side. And it's, no, we might be okay. We might be okay. I think we're okay. Yeah, I think we're okay. So this is that one. Yeah, and that goes on like that. Yep, okay. And then this one is this one, and it goes on like that. That means I put the foam on. Oh, no, wait, it goes like this. It goes like that. And then I put the foam on this side. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Either I'm doing both of them backwards or we're good. We shall find out soon. Soon. There we go. There we go. This one. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Hopefully this is enough. Ooh, just enough. Just enough. There we go. Okay, so those are those. So let's get rid of this guy. Because now we're going to have to get all these little panel clips. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then middle ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo! Any advice for sealing up a V2.4 more than stock does? Make sure you're using gasket around all the panels. Look at the front door. You can get the fridge door mod. I can't remember what the mod's called exactly, but basically it's a fridge door. Look into doing that mod. And then also insulate. So get like Reflectex, and like you can build a sock that goes over your printer or something. But basically you need layers. Like an onion. 3D printers are like an onion. You need layers. Clicky clacky door. There you go. Clicky clacky door mod. That sounds great. Hopefully that is enough. I can tighten these. Let's find out. Let's find out if this is tight enough. You go that way, you go that way, you go there. Yeah, I think we're okay. Yeah, we're okay. We're okay. So now I got to do this with all of them. Yay. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy, happy, happy, joy. This is such a fun stream. Are you guys all having fun? Put a 1 in chat if you're having fun. If you're not having fun, gift 10 subs. Did it come with CPAP? Yep, I got CPAP. I got CPAP cooling, which is why I'm not too concerned about not installing the current air system, is because CPAP is just crazy already cooling, and I've got enough for what my use cases will be. Remember, build the printer that you need, not the printer you want. Build the printer you need, not the printer you want. Not sure you need any printers. Well, that's true. I mean, technically you don't. You don't need a printer. You also don't need a bridge port, but you know, secretly everyone wants a bridge port. What if the printer you need is the printer you want? Well, that's the trick. If it's the printer you need, it's the printer you need. So then it's also the printer you want. But sometimes the printer you want is not the printer you need. But if it is the printer you need, then it's the printer you need. And then therefore it's the printer you need. Go buy it. It's only when it's the printer you want and you don't need it, then it becomes a problem. Also, I know how like everything on this is purple for the printed parts and like a silvery gray, and all the enclosure parts are in black. Because I'm like, screw it. I'm just gonna print them in black because I already had black loaded in the machine. And I'm like, everything goes good with black. Yeah, we are totally finishing this after We get these two panels on. We are calling it. I am cold. I am cold. My nose is cold. I'm starting to sniffle, and sniffling on stream is usually not a good idea. People don't like that, and I can't wait for the comments tomorrow. Speaking of, I banned somebody from the channel today because they did not like the fact I say Zed. They're like, why are you saying Zed? Say Z, you're not British. And I'm like, you know, you dummy, I'm Canadian, we say Zed. And he's like, gross. And I'm like, cool, goodbye, ban. Like, just because it's the internet, you know, those little thoughts in your head, it was great back in the day. We all thought dumb stuff and we kept it in our head. But now it's the internet and people like think they have to say everything. Like, I blame Twitter and I blame apps. But now that like anyone can go on the internet and leave a comment, because, you know, the barrier to entry to the internet has dropped significantly thanks to iPhones and apps. People never like I think a whole generation of people have never like understand that like just because you can say it doesn't mean you should. It's like I wouldn't walk up to somebody on the street and be like, hey, shave your beard. But people do that in YouTube comments. People love doing that in YouTube comments. Shave your beard, get a haircut, don't wear a hat. Like, if you're not going to say it to somebody walking on the street, why are you saying it in a YouTube comment? Because you're just going to get banned. There are parents out. I know, that's the problem. I swear, the iPhone has done more damage to the internet than anything. I'll be honest about that. The iPhone has done more damage to the internet than anything. Because it got a whole generation of people that didn't know how to use the internet on the internet. And if they didn't know how to use the internet, you know how well their comments are. Don't need to be a YouTube nanny. Oh my God. Freaking YouTube nannies are so annoying. You need to be focusing on your thumbnails. Like, hi, person who, you know, pays their mortgage with YouTube and has been a full-time YouTuber for 2 years. I'm going to tell you things that you already know, but I'm going to tell it to you. So you need to do it. And if you brush me off, you offended me. Ugh. YouTube nannies. Ugh. Okay, so what side do I need first? I need that side. Okay. Big printer, move. I've got the TPU feet on it now, so it doesn't slide as easily. Remember those TPU feet I printed a while ago? Whew, it's heavy. So, no, you're not gonna get a good camera angle for this. I'm sorry. I'm screwing panels on. And yeah, no way in hell this was gonna fit. So if you're wondering, would I have been able to fit this on my shelf? Because right now I got the Trident. So this is currently without the handles. I'm not putting the handles on it. It is currently, let's say, 29 inches tall. My shelf is 29.5 inches tall. I could put this on the shelf. I could put this on the shelf. I thought I wasn't able to. I could put this on the shelf. Now, granted, sliding it in and out of the shelf would be annoying as hell. Also, it wouldn't fit on the shelf because it's 25 inches deep. So it would overhang the back of the shelf, which I don't want it to do. Yeah, this is gonna live over here or something. I'm gonna have to figure out where to make this live. Okay, let's put these panels on. So you go this way, you go this way, you go that 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 way, and that goes that way. Okay, so this goes all in here. Oh wait, no, I got it upside down. Whoop. There we go. Voila. So I got to figure out what I'm doing this year, because June is coming up not crazily far away, and there are 3 events in June this year, and I don't know which ones I'm going to go to yet. I got to sort this out, and I got to figure it out soon for logistics reasons. Because in June, there is Rapid TCT, which is in California, and that is like the last week of June, I think. And then earlier in the month, there's Open Sauce, which is the 15th and the 16th of June. And then also there's Murph, which hopefully it's earlier in June. Because if it's going to be in the same weekend as Open Sauce, it's pretty much going to be a dead show. Nobody's going to go. Why won't you fit? There you go. So I probably could only go to one thing because of logistics and everything and timing and whatnot. Murph is the weekend of 6/22 for Rapid. Oh, geez. So, let me just pull up the calendar. Okay, where's June? June. Okay, so here's June. So, Open Sauce is this weekend, which is Father's Day weekend in Canada. And then, so Open Sauce is that weekend. The next weekend is Murph. And then 25, 26, 27 is Rapid. That is a busy 2 weeks. Now here's the thing. Personally, I would love to go to everything. I would love to go to everything. Fly down to Open Sauce, spend a week in California, hang out with Max and Steve and whatnot, then fly to Murph, and then fly back to California again for Rapid. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. So what may end up happening, and what will probably end up happening, it'll either be Rapid or Open Sauce, and then Murph. So it'll be either Rapid or Open Sauce and then Murph. And Murph will be a rockstar weekend. I'm just going to go for the weekend. Leave Saturday morning, come back Sunday night. Because luckily for me, Murph is like a 2.5, or it's like a 3.5, 4 hour drive for me. So I just get up early Saturday, go, spend one night in a hotel, and then come back. So I go to Murph just to hang out with people, let's be honest. And give away printers. So the question is, do I do Rapid or Open Sauce? And I think I know which one I want to do. It's just making it happen is the problem. So, if anyone happens to know William Osmond and wants to put in a good word, feel free. I got no problem. There we go. Hey, that worked. So that panel's on. That actually looks really good. Nice. Ask Steve. The problem is, I already actually spoke to Steve. He lives like an hour and a half from the venue for Open Sauce, and I don't want to travel that. So I'll probably, if I do go to Open Sauce, I'll probably just get a hotel local and just crash there, because then I don't have to worry about logistics. I could just like get a taxi from the airport to the venue and just stay within walking distance and then taxi back to the airport. I did that for Rapid last year and it worked out really good. And same with like Smurf, is basically just fly in, taxi to venue, stay in that area on foot, and then go back. And June is the end of the fiscal year for work. Bad time to take off. Ooh, that sucks. Didn't you say you have like the whole months off? Or am I spoiling something? Okay, I gotta burn it. Oh my god, this fucking thing is fucking massive. It used to slide so nice. It slid so good at one point. And then I went and put the TPU feet on, and now it doesn't slide anymore. Okay, that worked. Okay. So yeah, so if anyone knows William Osmond or has a contact, Put in a good word for me. I don't know if I qualify to be a creator invited to go, but whatever I can get, I can get. Because we don't exactly have the biggest budget on this channel, let's be honest. Okay, I gotta steal more screws. I am out of 10 mil screws. Okay, oh no, I am not out of 10 mil screws. I just don't have any shit. Oh wait, no, I have some. We're good. We're good. We got some. That's M3/8. So, you can appear on stage at Open Source and answer banal questions. I'll do it. You know what's hilarious? I was speaking with some family. I sucked at public speaking before I did this whole YouTube thing. I used to be terrified of public speaking. I was talking with the wife at our wedding. I didn't do a wedding speech. I couldn't stand in front of people and do like speeches. I just couldn't. If you are over 400 or over 100 or under 4 years old, you get free to open source. I am not over 100, and last I checked, I'm not under 4. So, but yeah, I used to be like terrified of public speaking, and that's all changed. I've got like no problem. Beautiful wire management. Hey, that's why it's not done yet. This will be next Saturday. Next Saturday, we'll make this look pretty and put it on the shelf. But for now, we're just getting these side panels on because I am getting cold. It stopped warming up. It stopped warming up. Till you gave your first piano concert. Well, there you go. But yeah, I used to be terrified of public speaking. Like, I just could not do it. In high school, if I had to make a speech, or even grade school, like I couldn't. And now it's like, what was it, at Smurf there? They were doing the auction, and Joel's just like, here's a mic, talk to everyone and about the thing you brought for the auction. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. Hey everyone, what's up? Does the back stay open like that? No. Here, let me show the CAD. So there is a panel that goes over all of this. This guy. So this panel will go right here and keep all that protected. And then I've got these two panels, and I don't know what these two panels are for. One has like a little slot cut in it. Like they're notched. I don't know what these ones are for. Because they're not for the door. Oh, they might be for the door. Oh, these are the doors. Yeah, these are the doors. It's a two-part door. Forgot about that. Also, I gotta print an insert to cover this up because I'm not putting the fan there. We're not doing that. We don't need no stinking fans. Fans lead to exhaust. Exhaust leads to lower chamber temperatures. We don't do low chamber temps. Like anything else, first, yeah, you just get used to it. But I remember like when I first started, when I finished the stream, I would have like no voice the next day. You should do the handles. The problem is the handles go on the top though. Oh, are you talking about the handles inside there? I have them printed. I don't know where they're at. But yeah, now that you mentioned it, yeah, this printer's gonna suck to move now once the panels are on. Which is why it's gonna go to one place and never move. There you go, you go there. You could exhaust to a heat exchanger and warm it back up. That would probably be kind of expensive. I mean, if somebody wants to hit up BOFA and see if they want to develop that, that'd be something up their alley. Have it carbon filter and actively reheat the air, which they actually, they don't have to, you don't have to hit up BOFA because BOFA already does that. Yeah, BOFA already, I'm pretty sure BOFA already has a system that will circulate the air and heat it back up. So. Also, I gotta print a bunch of little like wire tabs or something for this. What do I have loaded there? You got blue, you got the, no, I don't have any black. Actually, you got black loaded, you'll do. Okay, Trident, load it on the Trident. Make a mental note, load that on the Trident. Is that printer so big or are you size sufficient? It's big, printer is big. It's 330 by 330 by 400 on the Z. And then it's also got a top hat. So it's gonna look bigger than it is too, because it's got a top hat. It's a big boy. Hot ends for Voron 2.4, I like the Revo. Do I need the 60 watt heater core? I personally, if I was building a Voron now, I would go with a high flow Revo kit. Just so you have the 60 watt heater, I would just start off with the 60 watt heater. Just get it from the start. 60 watt heater, that way you can use high flow nozzles. You get a little bit more overhead. Like you could make do, like I've got Revos that are just regular flow with high flow nozzles and they're fine with ABS and PLA at the normal speeds I print. Ooh, last screw I need and it's the last silver one I have. Nice. Nice. Get in your hole. Wait. God damn it. They forgot to drill a hole. I gotta drill a hole now. Where's my drill? They forgot to drill a hole. Literally, they forgot to drill a hole. I'm missing a hole in the panel. One-eighth is close to 3 mil, right? Yeah, 1/8 would be 125, 40 thou and a millimeter. Yeah, close enough. Now, do this without cracking the panel is the fun part. So you're gonna go right there. There we go. We're good. I did scratch the heck out of it though, because I was swinging the screw around trying to get it in. There we go. Okay. So you're the end stop wire. I gotta make you not be ugly. You go on the bottom, so you go right here. Okay. So you go that way, you go that way, go that way, go that way, go that way, that way, go that way, go that way, that way, go that way. Don't forget, by the way, because I know you're all paying attention because it's, you know, late at night and I got 400 of you here and you're still up. What are you doing still up? Why are you still up right now, by the way? This is, you got like less than a week for the community challenge stream. So if you want your chance at winning some Polymaker filament, some awesome Only Ben Cheese merch, and other cool prizes, well actually that's it for cool prizes right now. You may want to enter for your chance to win on the Discord. So go join the Discord if you haven't yet. Do this now. And enter for your chance to win some cool filament and merchandise by posting a picture of your favorite print or 3D printing project from last year. That's the challenge. Easy peasy, anyone can enter. Because who here didn't print anything last year? If you legitly did not print anything last year, put a 1 in chat. Because if you don't put a 1 in chat, that means you can enter to win. Simple as that. That's it. Now, granted, if you just post a picture of a bench, you're probably not going to win, but you still technically have a chance. It's a very, very slim chance if all you've done is printed a benchy last year, but it's still a chance. I mean, I printed something last year, and if I printed something, Well, then you printed something. There we go. Go. You go there. You go there. There you go. Thing I printed with a Voron. Hey, that counts. There's two categories. It's like project and print. So if you built a Voron with parts you printed yourself, that counts as an entry. And if it's a really cool Voron, hey, you might have a chance to win. You can pick any, well, go, if you want to enter, go join the Discord if you haven't, and go look at the contest channel and read the rules. There we go. So that is, we got the side panels on, top hat is on. How's the door work? I'm assuming the door is a bit involved, and it's 10:50 and I am cold. Yeah, we'll do the door next week. Yeah, we'll do the door next week. Let me put these on. Let me kick the door. Did I not print those little hand? Oh, I did. Did I not print the little knobs? I thought I printed the knobs. I did not print the knobs. Okay, well, I gotta print the knobs. So there we go. And then, what do the door panels look like? Make sure I have those printed. I got that latch to this. So then what the heck is this part for? Oh, that's, okay, so there's that piece and that piece. That. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then how many of these I got? Wait, that's that one. Okay, so that's that. This is that. And then these VHB on it. I gotta. Oh, they screw into the panels. Oh, they actually screw into the panels. Okay, that's ballsy. And I only have one of these. Okay, yeah, I gotta print parts. I've only got one of the things. So I gotta print the door panels, and I gotta print the little thumb thingies in the back. So I'm gonna have to find some purple. Do I have purple? I do have purple. I got a whole thing of purple. Sweet, I'm gonna load that up. Cool, okay. So until then, I'm gonna put this back on the shelf. Let's get you back on the shelf. Let's actually do this so I don't break any of these wires. Yeah. You know what? I'll just tape you in there for now. A little bit of tape. Hey! It's the guy who did the thing that made this thing. What are you doing here? A little bit of tape. Just to keep the wire out of the way for now. I gotta print a whole bunch of little wire management tabs for this. Just in case I print anything in the next week, I don't want to catch any wires on it, break it. That would be really dumb. There we go. Okay, so yeah, so I got to print some stuff. This is functional for now. We got the top hat on, we got the side panels on. Again, Vez, is there a blank part for this so I can just print it? Because I'm not putting the if you don't know, I'm not putting the curtain air cooling system in, and I'm not putting the exhaust fan in because I'm gonna be printing ABS. I don't need the curtain air system. And then I don't want the exhaust because I want this as sealed up as possible because it already is kind of a little bit of a, I'm gonna have to put a gasket around here because it is a little bit of a leaky boy, but it should be pretty good. There's a lot of volume to keep hot, so I'm gonna have to seal it up pretty good. Designing a blanking plate. Oh, it'd be super easy. So easy a caveman could do it. Okay. Let's put you back on the shelf. By the way, do you love how many chunks, you can't see. You love how many chunks I've taken out of the wall already with having the VZBot back here? Okay, so we're gonna go here. Also, I think I'm broken the screen again. This freaking screen. I don't like the screen. I don't like the screen. I really don't like the position of the screen. I don't like the fact that I've now got a hole in my front door to clear the screen, because that's what these little holes are for, is so it clears the screen. Actually, that should be okay. It's not too bad of a hole. But yeah. And also, what are those holes for? What are those holes for? Oh, they got little tabs up there too. Oh, they're magnetic. I see. They're magnetic. That explains what these pieces are for. How many of these do I have? I got, wait, how does this even work? How does that even work? How does that attach? Do they screw in? How does that, what is that? What do these do? Why is there a notch in it? Okay, so that screws into the panel. So what's, oh, is that just to put your finger in? No, that's just to put your finger in. Okay, so it's just a little, so that screws in there. I'm gonna need a magnet there. And then, do I have the other half of that printed? I've got a bunch of these printed. I got 1, 2, I got these printed, and then I got, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I might just steal the Voron ones. I like the Voron tabs a little bit more because they interlock to each other. So I might just use the Voron ones instead. That way I can just, we'll see. We'll see. I think it needs wheels. No, it's big enough. Also, what size magnets do these use? Do these use the same magnets Vorons use? Please tell me these use the same magnets as Vorons use. What is this? What does that screw into? T-nut? Oh, I'll figure it out. They don't use magnets. You have locking ones. Oh, well, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I might just use the Voron things because I like how the Voron ones work. So we'll see. Yeah, I could use the Voron ones. I'll just use the Voron ones. I gotta print them still. But we'll carry on with that next week because it is cold and we gotta do a giveaway and I got a beer to finish. I got a beer that's finished. Okay, so this can go there. Put this panel here so I don't lose it. You are M5s, you are M3s. I need to get more, I need to get a tab. 1 second here. That'll work. There we go. Whew. That is cold. That is cold. That is cold. I'm gonna grab another beer. Brr! Brr! What just dropped? Oh. Okay. Wheel of names. You know, I probably should have had these charging the whole time. Do I have a USB-C cable? I should have a USB-C. There's got to be one right here. Yeah, there we go. USB-C. Come on. There we go. Let that charge up. That goes there. Okay. Who wants to do a giveaway? You want to do a giveaway? I want to do a giveaway. If you have not entered for your chance to win some Polymaker filament, you have until 11 p.m. So you got like 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes to enter for some Polymaker filament. Link in the video description. Let's turn this back on. Now, can I open this as is? Nope, that hits the wall. Can I slide this out anymore? Okay, that is, dang it, I can't open this. That's as far as I can go. That's kind of annoying. I wish it opened straight up. It does not. So I'm gonna have to run a Bowden tube out through the back. Shoot, how am I gonna feed this now? I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. F, what do you mean F? Oh, that, yeah. I mean, technically I can just, you know, take the top off. Oh, right, the pins aren't held in. Let me put the pins in and actually like glue them in place or something. I forgot about that. Where'd those pins go? Shit. I forgot those pins weren't actually held in place by anything. Do I have long M5s that I can... I don't know if these M5s are long enough to go all the way through. They are not. These don't go in. So... order new ones. Why would I order new ones? I got a whole drawer of them right here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is get some. How long are these? That'll work. Grab that one. That one, are these the same lengths? Okay. Put you in there. Okay, you go in there. You go there. And then we use our super secret tool. We put a little bit of blue tape on it. A little bit of blue tape. And we're good to go. Just a little bit of blue tape. Just a bit. Just enough to hold it on. Just enough so it doesn't fall out. There we go. Yeah, tape. Why not tape? Tape works. For some reason, this wasn't designed for a screw to screw into it to hold it in place, and I don't have anything longer than 40 mil screws, so I can't put a screw through and then put a nut on it. So, tape. It's on the back of the printer. You don't see it anyways. There we go. See? Easy peasy. Ready? Move. Home. Oh. It lives! Okay, let's do this giveaway. Let's do the giveaway. So if you have not entered for your chance to win for the filament giveaway, you will have another chance on Tuesday, because that will be when the next stream is. That'll warm me up, drinking a nice cold beer. And hopefully I'm gonna leave the heater on all night so it actually warms up so I can actually film this week's video tomorrow and not be freezing. Okay, I need a number between 1 and 5. I don't feel like counting high. Give me a number between 1 and 5. Number between 1 and 5. 3 works. 1, 2, 3. Round and round she goes. Where it stops will be right here. Right there. Called it. Sebas. Hey, I know that person. Sebas, congrats, Sebas. you have won yourself a spool of filament from Polymaker. You will get an email from me right now. Actually, let me do this right now. Because you guys want to do Nero After Dark tonight? Are we going to do some Nero After Dark? We might do a little bit of Nero After Dark. We'll do a little bit of Nero After Dark. Because why not? Why not? So congrats, Sebas. I think that's the first time you've won. So everyone golf claps in chat. Phenomena. Phenomena. There you go. Email's out. So this is what I got to work on this week. This is this week's project. I got a boot. So for this is Nero After Dark hours. This is where I talk about random shit. Stream's over if you want to go home, but this is where the cool people hang out. The power armor. So the power armor. I need to grow like 4 inches. Okay, which, you know, guys, am I right? So I need to get about 4 inches taller for the legs of the T45 power armor that I'm building to kind of line up right. Because I am not resizing the armor to fit my proportions. I am resizing myself to fit the proportions of the power armor so it looks cooler. So boot will get me about 1 inch. The plan is I've got plywood here that's left over. I'm gonna cut out some feetsies, you can kind of see there, I've already scored them up. And then I'm gonna bolt this to this. So it'll be about a little bit of 1/2 inch, 1 inch overhang. So I have more area. Why more area? Because underneath all of that is going this. So I hit up the good old Princess Auto for some Power Fist kneeling pads. So you know it's good. Yeah, the Gattaca leg extensions. I don't think that would work in this case. So, I've actually tested one of these. Ooh, look at that. So the plan is basically and then what I'll do is once the actual boot's built with all the printed parts and everything, I'm gonna get some rubber, like the kind of rubber I have on this mat here, which is really cheap. Get the rubber, cut that, and glue that on the bottom and use that as the sole of the boot, so I have some grip. So I'll have this. The wood will help to spread it out. The foam does squish a little bit, but I'm hoping by putting the wood and screwing the wood to the sole of this, it gives me a nice flat surface to epoxy this to this, and it should spread out the weight a bit more and also make it a little bit more rigid. And then also in the boot, I'm gonna put a 1 inch heel riser, kind of like our pal Ron DeSantis uses. So we're gonna use the 1 inch riser in the boot to give me another inch. So this should get me, hopefully, if all goes well, about 5 inches. Should give me about 5 inches, I'm hoping. Because the heel comes up to there, and then another inch will be about there. So yeah, I should get about 5 inches out of this. Walking this is gonna be fun. I've got 35 pounds of printed parts that are gonna be hanging off of me. That's the helmet itself is 2 kilograms already. So yeah, so I haven't actually done much work on the power armor in like since I've printed it. I've got everything printed. The problem is I can't actually start working on it until I do the first video on it, because I have to do the video about the printing, and I can't do that video if everything's not printed and like post-processed already, because then I have to do a video on that. So I'm hoping tomorrow I can do this week's video, get that filmed and done, so that during the week I can film next week's video on the power armor, so then I could start working on the power armor. Yeah. Why not printed soles? That would involve a lot of 3D printed TPU. I don't want to waste TPU. This was $6 and this was wood I already had on hand. Remember, reduce, reuse, recycle? Also, I'd be worried about TPU eventually mushing over time. This, if it fails, I can replace it easily. Put a welly on your head a la Vermin Supreme. Michael L. That was a combination of words that made a sentence that I have no idea what it meant. I'm gonna need a steel helmet. I mean, no, actually, I know I don't have any army buckets. I got a gas mask somewhere though. But yeah, if you're wondering like scale, because for some reason I've got all kinds of helmets now. There's the Mando helmet. Where are you? Oh, hey, Nerf darts. Here's the T-45 power armor helmet. Here's a stormtrooper helmet. Here's a Doom Guy helmet. And then here's a not finished ODST helmet. This is the smallest helmet I got. Yeah, I've been doing helmets lately for some reason. Also, I'm doing a video on just helmets, basically. I think I'm probably gonna do a video on just helmets. Talking about like, just printing helmets. Because this one's pretty good. Oh wait, glasses. So the ODST one fits pretty good. And I could rock the poor Star Bash. The wife probably wouldn't approve. But anyways, so yeah, there's the ODST helmet. I'm just gonna put you on the ground there. The power armor helmet. Yeah, this one's big. Luckily, it hides my beard. So this one's gonna sit here. So if you're wondering, my head ends here, so this is gonna give me like that much more. So that's that one. Put you back in there so I don't lose it. The Doom Guy helmet. This print failed 4 times, but it's still finished. There's the Doom Guy helmet. All these are printed out whatever 100% scale ended up being with them. Stormtrooper helmet. This thing's huge. This thing's actually huge. There's a Stormtrooper helmet. This was printed on the VZBot. There we go. And then, of course, Mando helmet. This is the only one that's finished, and this one fits perfectly. So, and by the way, this metal pattern here is the pattern we're using on the T-45. So for the T-45, I'm going to be doing the same texturing that I used on this helmet. So I'm going to be using the combination of the I got it down here. So Stone Shield, and then I'm going to try a different paint. I'm going to try, because this silver is dark steel, Rust-Oleum Universal Dark Steel. I want something a little bit shinier for the power armor, so I'm going to try Fusion Metallic Silver for the power armor. And then I'm going to try weathering it with brown instead of black. So I'll still use some black in some areas, but I'm going to weather it with brown wash to make it more muddier. So yeah. So that will be the next projects. So where did this guy live? I had this guy out for a bit. I'm gonna put you up here. There you go. Bye, John. So yeah, so that's going. I'm in no rush with the power armor. I want it done by East Coast Rep Fest. That's pretty much it. I want it so I can wear it on the floor at East Coast Rep Fest. I think there's a Comic-Con in Windsor. I don't know if I'm gonna go to it. So, and actually, Bam. Starred. Exclusive brand deal. So many, oh man. So many, I've been getting so many Temu offers. And they go, I just junk them right away because Temu's junk. But yeah, still stuck on clearance delay. What the frick? Frickin' FedEx, what a joke. So apparently, the reason my package is stuck, I can't say too much because I'm having, somebody's helping me. But apparently, like, the person that is in charge of clearing packages, it has COVID customs, and that's why my package is stuck in limbo. I'm like, what the Getting Temu ads everywhere. Oh, it's horrible. And the worst part is, like, I only get ads on Twitter on my phone because I block them otherwise on my desktop. And so I get them on my phone, and everyone else, you can block advertisers on Twitter, which is great. You can just block them, but you can't block Temu. So Temu probably paid a bunch. You ever get orange pies running input shaper? Yeah, the Voron has it. Yeah, we got it working on the VZ or the Voron 1. You do not get, I don't know what printer I'm waiting on. I can't tell you what printer I'm waiting on. Let's see here. I really want to get an XL. I want a tool changer so badly. I want to play. I have no idea where the hell I would even put that. Where am I going to put the VZBot? Because it can't. I got to figure this out, guys. Where are we going to put the VZBot? Because it can't live there once. There's not enough room here for the Milo mill. So where is this guy going to live? I might end up bringing it downstairs. It might end up living downstairs. It might end up living downstairs. I might have to bring it to the basement, which is gonna suck because it's heavy as shit. Well, I can put the handles on it, so it'll be easier to move after I put the handles on it. But yeah, that's gonna be fun to figure out where that's gonna live. Oh jeez. I could put it on the shelf, but I'd be worried about it shaking the whole shelf. What am I gonna do with it? What am I gonna do with it? I'll figure it out. Those yourself then you will have a tool changer. Yeah. It's about the same size of Voron 2.4, though it is about as deep as we gain some Z. Yeah, it's big, and I've seen an XL in person multiple times. It'll fit on my shelf downstairs. It's just buy a shelf rack. Well, I can't put another shelf over here because I'm going to put a CNC here. So this is done. I can't put, like, I'm gonna get a bigger bench over here that's more robust because this is a little husky table. It weighs nothing. It's horrible. So I can't really put like it's not secured at all. So that I need to put a better bench there when we start doing the Milo mill. But I gotta figure out where to put that. I could put it on the ground. Actually, I could put it on the ground underneath the bench. So how tall is it? How tall is this? If I get a bench, how tall is a bench normally off the ground? So if I were to buy, shit, I don't have a store-bought bench out here. How tall is this? Okay, so 29 inches. That'll fit. This will just live on the ground. I'll just put it on the ground underneath the bench. Yeah, it'll just live under the ground there. But then I got to find out where to put all this. Where am I going to put my saw? Because under here I got my like skill saw. I've got my table saw. I've got like my paints and everything. So now I got to figure out where that stuff's going to live. If anyone lives in Southern Ontario and has a warehouse they want to rent really cheap, let me know. No, kick the screen. I've done it. This screen is coming off. It's either going to come off or I'm going to put it on the side. Oh, what'd I do? Oh, I hit the home button. Okay. move. Sit close. There we go. By the way, according to this, it is 11 degrees in here right now. Attach them to the ceiling. I wouldn't trust the ceiling. What is a good robust bench with no minimal wobbles? I use the Husky benches from Home Depot that I bolt to the wall. That's what I have downstairs. The benches that I have out here are built. So I've got, oh, don't judge me. So I've got this bench here. That's an absolute mess right now. This I built. And then I've got this bench over here that's also built. So these ones I built myself. I actually have a video on it. Go watch it. But yeah, don't judge me. I gotta clean off all this. This is the problem with having a big open space next to where I work when I'm streaming, because it's like, oh, okay, I'll just put this over here. Oh, okay, I don't need this, I'll put it over here. Next thing you know, you gotta ask me, why do I have an 8600 GTS? Like, why do I have an 8600 GTS within arm's reach of me right now? I don't know, but I do. Same with the box for a Sigma lens. Even pay the shipping. I want to use the VZBot though. Like, cause it's a really good helmet machine. And then where the fuck am I in? Where the hell am I gonna put the magneto? Yeah, this is gonna be fun. I thought I had room. What I gotta do is I gotta shift this that way. That's what I gotta do, because I've actually shifted back since I started out here. Horizontal surface get cut. Yeah, they do. Because what's going to happen is this Kennedy's actually should be over here. So the Kennedy should be on here. The resin corner, I'm going to get rid of the resin corner. I'm going to move the resin stuff downstairs. I can't have resin machines out here. It's too cold. That might go there, and I might just use that as a... I can't put any printers on this wall. I can't put any printers on this wall. There's no room. I'll figure it out. Are my monitors wall mounted? These monitors, these are on arms. They're... Oh, wrong thing. They're on an arm. So the camera and the monitor are on. You can see the arms under there. So it's actually, so that's the camera that you guys see. I have to move this light up more because it's actually being blocked by the monitor. So disassembled. The problem is all the printers out here are printers I use. So I've got the X1, which I use. So on the shelf right now, I've actually gotten rid of the printers I don't use. So now we got the two bamboos. This is technically a placeholder. The reason the P1P is out here is because an K1C is going to go here eventually. Toasty, filament to feed the LDO, which I use. This is Tall Boy, which is going to live there, and then the Trident, which lives there. So these are printers I actually use. I actually use this. And then the only printer that's not out here that I regularly use is V226, which is my 250 V2. That's in the basement. The Prusa Mark IV is in the basement. I use both of those regularly. And then I've got a whole other room of printers that I don't use, but I'm not using them. So they're just collecting dust in another room. So I gotta get rid of a bunch of those. So Ultra HD workbenches are solid and nice. I'm in Canada. Remember, any recommendation has to be available in Canada, and unfortunately, a lot of that stuff is not. It's Tallboy 350 cube. No, Tallboy is oddball sized. Tallboy is technically like, I'm gonna have to refigure out what my Z is now that it's got an umbilical on it. But technically, Tallboy can, on paper, it can do 330 by 330 by 405. It was originally a 300 by 300 by 400 V1.5, that's why. So when I converted to V2, it's an oddball size. It's not a standard size for V2, so that's why. So we gotta replace the bed on it, because that's an old bed on it that I made myself. And I got a nice LDO, a 300 LDO bed that I'm gonna put it on, that I have, so I'm gonna use it. So we gotta put that on it. We gotta finish wiring up. This will be all on Tuesday. Tuesday, we're gonna get back to that. Old printers local. I've looked, I don't really have anything. I gotta get rid of this. I've got two Savals, SV06 and SV06 Max I gotta get rid of. I gotta get rid of the Cheaties. I don't use the Cheaties. I don't like them. I don't like them. They're too big. Yeah, I gotta get rid of printers. That's what I gotta do. Maybe I should do a yard sale one day. Do a printer yard sale. Who would drive to Southern Ontario for a printer yard sale? Not at my house, because you guys don't need to know where I live. They ship to Canada. The problem is I'm not shipping a bench to Canada. Think about it. I'd totally do a tap changer if I had a V2. If I was gonna do tap changer, it would probably be this guy. Now that Tallboy is up and functional and it's CAN bus with a Kraken under the hood, this right here would be great for tap changer because I have all this room up top to put tool heads. So what I do need to do is get a 330 bed because unfortunately Tallboy is technically 330, but the only bed I have is 12 inch because I'm not going to go buy a 330 bed by itself. You know, I now have one because of the VZBot, but I'm not going to work the one out of the VZBot because I use it in the VZBot. So yeah. Spruce up your member contest with printer prizes. The problem with that, Dougal, is shipping. I'll be honest, and I'll be very honest. The giveaway streams, like the community contest streams, I lose money on. I've lost money on every single community contest stream. I don't know if it's just the type of content I do on them. They get less viewers than my normal streams, and nobody donates anything during them because everyone's too busy watching the stream. I don't know why, but I lose money on every community contest stream. I've lost money on every single one. So if all of a sudden I now have to pay $120 to ship a printer, makes it even worse. I'll be honest. Unfortunately, as much as it sucks, this is technically a business, and I do need to look at profit margins because this does pay my mortgage. So it does come down to that. So I have given away a printer in the past, and it cost me like $100 to ship it, which completely negated any benefit out of my own pocket. So it is what it is. So we'll figure something out. Last year I brought 5 printers to Murph to give away. I'll probably, if I go to Murph again this year, which I'll probably just go for like the 2 days, just the Saturday, Sunday. I will probably bring a bunch of printers again to give away at Murph this year. Murph maybe 2, because those are the 2 I drive to. Murph and Murph I drive to. Everything else I fly to, and I'm not gonna bring a printer if I'm flying. Give away a printer and buy or pay shipping. The problem is I don't want to do a giveaway where 500 people enter, and then it's like, oh hey, you won, but you live in Europe. Do you want to pay $400 to ship this there? And I'm like, no. Well, actually, it would be 400, but you know what I mean. And then I got to find somebody else who's willing to pay. And then I gotta give some. It's a pain in the butt. It's just logistically a pain in the butt. And you guys know I like keeping things simple. So also, don't be that person that asks a YouTuber for free shit. It never goes over well. So VZBot or rat rig? It depends. The rat rigs scale bigger. The VZBot is only 2 sizes. It's what, 235 and 330. I'm sure you could self-source. Rat Rig is a company. VZBot is more a Voron-esque type thing, where they just put a design out. Which one would I personally take? Depends how big you want to go. If you want to go smaller, VZBot. If you want to go bigger, Rat Rig. I think that's what makes sense. I've got a Rat Rig. My only Rat Rig is a 220, and to be honest, I wouldn't do it again because it's 200. At 200, the Rat Rig V-Core 3 makes 0 sense. Like, I have it, it's great. I love it for like, oh shit, I need to print something really fast. That's just like a dumb bracket, and that's what I use it for. It's my dumb bracket machine. You guys watch me do that on Tuesday. So, how's the bed leveled on the VZBot? Old school. I do have a cartographer I could put in it. I could put a cartographer in it. Actually, I think it would drop right in because the mount's like right there. So I could put a cartographer in it. Where is my cartographer? Where is it? Are you the cartographer? No. Hopefully none of these boxes have my address on it. Yeah, cartographer, standard USB. But no, it's just manual level. It's just a fixed bed. You manually level it. Single Z switch, and you know what? It works damn good. Because the whole bed moves as one, because it's only one single Z motor. It works just fine. Once you get it leveled, it honestly, like, I printed the first layer for that helmet was perfect. So here's the thing. If it's already good, do you need to mess around with the switch? Do you need to make it more complex? Come on out of your hole. Come on. Here we go. So I've got this little guy. I could put it in if I really wanted to. Does it fit right in? Oh man, this is okay. Move. Oh wait, I got a home and all. Home. All. Gotta move the bed down. Okay. Z down. What do you mean move out of range? Oh, Z up. I am so used to Vorons where if I hit down, I expect the tool head to go up. Okay. So this would mount right there. I'd have to print a mount for it, but yeah, I could put that in there. I could do an eddy current sensor. So I could put a cartographer in there. I might. I have it. Might as well put it in something. But probably not today. I'm going to run this stock for a bit. I think this is just USB, so I can just plug it in pretty easily. Yeah, it wouldn't be too hard to add. You have a pair of VCore 3 500s? Jeez. Also, I got to put this in a machine. I finally I got the Chaotic Lab, the updated tap. The one that doesn't suck apparently. So I got to put this in a machine at some point. This might go in the LDO V2 when we upgrade that to CAN bus, or correction, Leviathan and Nighthawk is going in the LDO 300 V2, and I might add this too and put tap in it because I like tap, and I haven't used the Chaotic Lab one yet, so we'll give this a try. So that'll go in. What else do I got? Oh, and I have this too. Fly gave me a CAN bus rep firmware tool head. Yeah. I got a bunch of stuff we gotta play with at some point. Any recommendations for good crimpers? Oh, yeah, Spice King gave a good one. I like the PA09s. They're like my generic go-to. They're not the greatest at everything, but they kind of work with everything. So I'm getting a P1P. Any tips? Idiots Assembled. If you haven't purchased it yet, get the P1S. But otherwise, I don't know, update to the newest firmware so it's not crazy loud. It's just really loud. And print stuff. I don't know. It's a printer. Don't you need a dedicated circuit for the VCore 3 500? It depends on the bed. It depends on the bed, which also, I gotta add a 200 amps, or I gotta add a 240 volt out here. Shit. I should be able to add a 240 pretty easily. Yeah, I can add it. I can add a 200 volt pretty easily, or 220 volt pretty easily. Yeah, I could do that. It wouldn't be too bad. Just put the plug right here. Just run it right out the bottom. Yep. Yeah, that'll work. I could do that. Easy peasy. Discuss strong FedEx going. It's still going. Does the Milo require? So I'm not going to say anything because it's not set in stone yet. But the kits, as of a while ago, were a 220 volt spindle, or 240. I don't know. I say 110, 220 because that's what a lot of stuff is labeled as. When you When you get your power supplies, the power supplies say 110, 220. I know it's higher in the wall, but the power supplies say 110, 220. So I say 110, 220. So the spindles are 220 spindles. The last I talked, they were having some trouble getting a reliable source for 110 spindles for the US kit. The US kit is not going to have a spindle. Yeah, it's been up in the air. I know Jason's going to try and get me a spindle, but I might have to just break down and put a 220 out here, which, let's be honest, you kind of want 220 anyways for a spindle. Like, you want the higher voltage for the spindle. It's more efficient. It's better. So I'll probably have to put a 220 plug out here, but it is what it is. I mean, technically you could put any spindle you want on it. It's as long as it's like an 80 millimeter circular spindle, you can put anything you want, so you can self-source. But yeah. What is a Nighthawk? It's a tool head board for Vorons. Well, it's a tool head board that is designed with a Voron stealth burner in mind. But unlike the board we're using in Tallboy, it's USB. So it's not CAN bus, it's USB. So with tool head boards, there are advantages to CAN bus. The big advantage with CAN bus is you don't have the signal degradation issue that you have with USB. Running long USB cables with Clipper can lead to issues, namely timing. Clipper's super anal about timings. If your timings aren't right, if you lose connection for a second, boom, done. It's done, shut down. So CAN bus is more reliable. However, it's also a pain in the butt. What you save in complexity, hardware and design-wise, you make up for with software complexity. So wouldn't it be nice if you could just use an MCU and USB like you normally do with Clipper? With 3D printers on the average size of a 3D printer, USB makes a little bit more sense most of the time. Once you start getting big, like a Phoenix, you kind of do want to go CAN bus, but at normal sizes, USB is kind of okay. So the Nighthawk, which is the LDO tool head board that's kind of meant to go with Leviathan, is USB. It's just USB. It's just a USB MCU, just regular MCU. So it's the same thing as setting up a secondary MCU on your printer or a screen that plugs in through the Raspberry Pi. It's just another MCU. Super easy to config, super easy to update. Yeah. So, what about some of the newer boards with integrating Pi-like boards? So, Nick G, you can have a separate MCU, but you can't have, like with Clipper, the way Clipper works, something has to be the brain. You can't daisy chain Raspberry Pis. So you can use an RP2040 as the MCU, but you can't like have something like you can't have an SoC on your tool head. So I have a 2-meter USB cable. Yeah, it's once you start getting really long. Like if you've seen the cable, here's the cable for the SB2020. So the cable is attached to the tool head, and it's long enough to go from the tool head all the way to the other corner of the printer for its like normal mount. And then here's the rest of the cable. Yeah, this is CAN bus. Luckily, the Kraken has 2 built-in ports for it, though. So. Okay, are we gonna call it? I think we're gonna call it. So I'm gonna get the rest of the parts printed for that, so that next Saturday we can get this all done and put it back up on the wall. Tuesday we'll pull the Tallboy off and we'll get working on the Tallboy and get that all put together. Friday will be the community contest, and then next Saturday we're back to this. So that's this week. So Tallboy Tuesday, oh there we go, Tallboy Tuesday. Community contest Friday, and then VZBot back on the Saturday. And then there'll be a video hopefully on the Thursday, which so far we're less than a month in, but I'm keeping up with my video a week schedule. So yay, small victories. We'll take it. So we're gonna call it there. I'm gonna finish off the rest of my beer inside where it's nice and warm, because it's now warmed up to 12.8 degrees Celsius out here. I'm cold. I'm cold. Although on the bright side, 30% humidity. Heck yeah. Okay, so we're gonna call it there. So again, Shout out to Polymaker for the spool of filament we gave away this stream and every stream. Links for them and more in the video description. Also, shout out to, who was it? Print 3D Shop for providing the VZBot kit that we've been using for this build series that still isn't done. So they're getting their money's worth in terms of, you know, their brand on the bumper in the description. So go check them out, link in the description. Even if you don't buy anything, at least check them out, because you never know what you're gonna find. So they provided the kit for this build series that's still ongoing. We've already done the draw for the filament, so let me get rid of that. And then for those that donate to the channel, gifted memberships to others, or became members of the channel yourself, I thank you. I would not be able to do the things I do, create the content I create without your continued support. You make it all possible. And then I think that's about it. Are we good? We're good. We're good? We're good. We're good. I'm cold. I'm going inside. It's Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe out there. Wash your hands. And I will see you on Tuesday.